tried to clap. But you're like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Country Hipster Podcast. My name is Paul. I am the Country Hipster. Over to my far left is my co-host and youngest brother, Adam. And we have with us today a special guest to my very left. This is my first little brother.
Immediate left is what you were.
Immediate left. Immediate.
Immediate.
Yes, right away to my left. It is, but he's our third special guest. He's my first little brother. He is the oldest of season 2. He is the co-host of the Summer Movie Club and a Jack Black denier. So let's welcome my brother Zack Weiss here.
I like how you say, let's welcome my brother as if he's not our brother.
Well, okay. Well, you know, it's our brother.
If I could be honest with you, I've spent the entire week thinking, how am I going to fit Jack Black into the conversation,
Well,
and then you cut me off at my knees there.
Just to be like, so we're all on the same page about this. Jack Black is not on the Taking Back Sunday album that we're talking about today. No, he is not, and he is not on this podcast. So it shouldn't be too difficult for you to deny Jack Black.
If you're wondering if he's in the movie High Fidelity, all you need to listen to is the Summer Movie Club episode that you're on, and you'll hear me mention that he's in the movie.
No. I'm pretty sure me and Adam said that he is in the movie.
You
didn't even mention it.
Zach and I were driving up here, and he goes, when we recorded the High Fidelity episode, you were with Paul in the room, right? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right. He's like, maybe I might be able to get a word in this time.
Yeah, you and Adam were having your own conversation. I was just a spectator.
So, Adam.
Yeah.
So the most important thing on the Country Hipster Podcast is, Adam, why don't you tell us what you're drinking there?
So I make one reference to the fact that I think most Mexican beers aren't very good.
He was talking about Mexican people, but go on.
Yeah. So Paul is like what the second
the
second time since I've said that where you've gotten Mexican beer for me. So currently I'm drinking a Tecate, right?
It's a Tecate, yeah.
I just want to make sure I don't speak. Mi español es muy mal.
Oh, okay.
So I just wanted to make sure that I was pronouncing Tecate is what I'm drinking.
Yes.
And,
well, you know.
And I just said I checked this in. I don't remember when I checked it in. I gave it a 2.5 on Untapped. It's in retrospect, it's not as bad. Okay. I probably would give it at least a 3.5 now.
Did you check it in as drinking it from the Ottsville Record Garage?
No, because I checked it in. I checked this in
you
a
guys
while
have a
ago.
But you
venue?
didn't check it in again? You can check in beers more than once.
I only check them in once.
Douche, I check them in all
No,
the
the
time.
only
Yes, we have
okay.
which I just mentioned is as Zach asked the question and we almost ignored him right away.
Yeah.
You can, if you are on Untapped, you can check in your beer from the Ottsville Record Garage. So even if you're not here to do it, you should probably do it anyway, just to help us promote the Ottsville Record Garage.
I'm going to edit my check-in as we speak.
There you go. So what are you drinking now?
My check-in was in 2018.
Oh,
by
okay.
The way, so.
All right.
I was handed a New Trail Double Broken Heels Double Hazy IPA. Pretty solid. High ABV with 9.2. I don't usually go for IPAs. I have always been kind of a
Miller Lite kind of guy.
A Miller Lite kind of guy for years and years and years. But I've branched out more. But IPAs still, like, I'll drink them if they're handed to me, but I'm not gonna search one out. But this one is pretty solid, considering the ABV.
So here's my thing with IPAs. For people who say they don't like IPAs, I always suggest that they get a double IPA.
Yes, well,
because the double IPA, people always complain about the bitterness of an IPA, and the double IPAs, I don't know, maybe the double cancels out the bitter. I don't understand why, but the doubles tend to be less on the bitter side.
Yes, they are, and so that was me. I had tried IPAs. I hated IPAs. Did not like IPAs. Didn't like even trying them. I was like, nope, just fucking give me a PBR. I'm fine. Which I'm still. If you give me a PBR, I'm fucking fine. I don't care. But it's better than Miller Lite. Don't shake your head.
It's not to me. I can't do it.
Significantly better than Miller Lite.
Significantly, yes. But at any rate, so until I started dating Katie, I didn't like IPAs. I wasn't willing to try them, and she's the one who said, "Well, try this one." And she handed me a New England double IPA, and I tried it. I'm like, "Oh wait, that's not bad." And she's like, yeah, no, there's a bunch of different types of IPAs, which I didn't realize. I didn't know there's a juicy and a hazy and a double IPA and a New England IPA and a California IPA.
Do we know the difference between a New England double IPA and a double IPA?
I think Paul does. I think Paul's actually researched this to figure out what IPAs. I did, but
I don't remember at this point.
I think there's as many styles of IPAs as there are genres of metal music.
A New England IPA is to reference you talking on a previous episode. It's a post IPA.
Yeah, it's a post IPA.
It's a post IPA. Well, actually, the thing is when you start drinking New England IPAs, you want to know where your khakis are.
Yeah.
You start talking like that.
You got to stop drinking.
Khakis and some beans and some lobster. It's a wicked good fucking beer.
Beans.
The Boston baked beans, man.
The double IPA that I always recommend people try if they're not an IPA fan is local brewery to Philly, Evil Genius does a double IPA called Han Shot First.
Yeah.
That's the one that I always like. That's what I always tell people should be their springboard.
So real quick, I hope this ages well, but I'm going to throw this out to my friend Todd, who is the owner of Tirnano, where I do play music occasionally. He is a Boston native, and at the beginning, we're going to be a couple weeks out. Tonight is Game 7 of the Panthers Bruins first round game, and before the first game, he posted something about the Bruins, and I just sent him.
We're not a political podcast.
Yes,
can you please?
I'm making it political.
Can you please not voice your views?
I sent him a message that literally just said first round exit. So tonight is Game 7. So at this point, hopefully, it has come true, and the Panthers are have beaten the Boston fucking Bruins in the first round of the NHL playoffs. But at any rate, we won't know for another 2 weeks. By that point, the fucking Bruins could have won the Stanley Cup for all we fucking So, excuse me.
Gross.
I know, right? I am drinking a Victory Motel Paloma, which kind of looks like the place where Danielson lived in the Karate Kid on the can there. But this is a grapefruit summer ale, which is pretty good. Zach brought this up. We appreciate you bringing it.
And Paul, who makes it?
Victory.
I say
Victory.
Trying to keep it local.
What's your thoughts on Victory in general?
Hit and miss. There's some I like, some I don't. I'm more of a Yards fan when it comes to the local beers. If you get, give me the two like Yards and Victory. But I'm hit and miss. Like there's some Yards I don't like. There's some Victory I don't like, and there's some I happen to like more Yards than I do Victory. That's
I got into Victory at the time. I was out in Westchester, so we were right by Downingtown where they had the brewery. And I guess I have a little bit of an affinity, like a nostalgic affinity to it.
Right.
But like the what's their standard just lager? Like I think it's just Victory Lager, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think that was the first I had from them, and I don't really like mess around with like the Monkey series.
Yeah. Much like Adam, you're a racist, so
I do like the I do like Golden Monkey. I think I've also had the Sour Monkey, but there's a couple of them now. There used to just be the Golden Monkey, but now I think there's like 3 or 4. I think there's a holiday version of it.
Expanding it, like the Merry Monkey.
Merry Monkey is the
okay. I did actually. Jack and I were in the Acme in Newtown, and we were like picking up beer on the way home from work the one day. And Victory was doing a thing last year where like you could enter to win like a party where Victory basically like caters your party and brings the beer truck and all this kind of stuff. And so I entered. I'm like, fuck it, why not? Let me enter. And so I didn't win the party, but I did get an email that says you won something. It could be a T-shirt, it could be a gift certificate, whatever. Get in contact with us within 24 hours, and you know what I mean, like whatever. But it told me you didn't win the party, but you won something. And I was like, well, I didn't get the party. Fuck it, I don't care. So I just never gone. So hopefully someone else got.
What if it was a monkey?
What if they sent you? You could have been Ross from Friends.
I could have been. Thank God. Well, you know what? It's probably better that I didn't win a monkey because we were on a break. So.
It's understandable.
You got it?
No, I got it.
You got it?
I got it. Never was a fan of Friends.
Neither was I.
Not really. Nah, it's never been.
I used to date a girl who like loved the show Friends, and I'm like, every time she would put it on, I'd be like, oh my God. Can we fuck? so I don't have to pay it. So I don't have to pay attention to this. I was like, Jesus Christ.
That used to be with my first marriage. That was every show that my ex-wife watched. I would go out a lot because
except for Buffy, because you love Buffy.
No, I didn't like Buffy either. Fucking hated Buffy. I liked one episode of Buffy.
Was it the
Big Angel fan?
Was it the musical one?
It was the musical one. That's the only episode of Buffy I liked.
I say you have the what's it called? The vinyl of it.
I do.
Yeah.
I had the vinyl of it's Once More with Feeling is the name of the episode, and a couple years out they put the soundtrack out on a double blue vinyl, and I did pick one up for myself. So because I like that episode. I think it's a good episode. Otherwise, I didn't care for Buffy. The only reason I watched Dawson's Creek was because I had a little crush on Katie Holmes, which actually, did I ever tell you about the time I almost got with Katie Holmes?
What?
Yeah, swear to God.
Paul,
What?
you're gonna lose all credibility when you tell this story.
No, it's good. So I went out to see the Phillies and the Cubs at Wrigley Field, and Katie Holmes was throwing out the first pitch of the game, and so she was
Just
on the
because
mound.
you were in the bleachers and she was on the field doesn't mean you almost got with
No,
her.
that's what I'm saying. We were in the same building. It could have happened. Like, I could have gotten with Katie Holmes.
The odds of me getting with Katie Holmes was significantly higher at that
That's
point
what
in
I'm saying.
time.
So I almost got with Katie Holmes. We were in the same building at the same time. I swear to God, when she was waving, she looked up. We locked eyes. You know what I mean? I'm like,
She
I'm
waved-
like, she could see me.
she
Katie
waved
Holmes could see
directly to me.
She did. She waved directly to me. I was up in the off the first base line, up in the third to last row, and she was on the pitcher's mound, and she waved. She's like, that's the country hipster up there. I'm not going to see that. But it was so crazy around there, you know.
What year was this?
This was 2000. Fuck, I had my PT Cruiser, so
Oh, it was a while ago.
03, 04.
I just imagine, like, she looks up, she's like, I bet you in 20 years that asshole's gonna have a podcast.
Exactly.
We all remember the year 2000 and fuck.
Yeah. 2000 and fuck, some bad stuff happened.
Yeah. So yes. So that's my story about how I almost got with Katie Holmes.
It's a good story.
It is.
That's awesome. If that's the case, one time I was in a hotel lobby down in Center City, and Bam Margera walked by, so I almost fucked Bam Margera one time.
Yeah, but that's actually attainable. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure if you just if you
Did I
had
ever tell you
a
that story?
dime bag of Coke, you could probably fuck Bam Margera.
By the way, we no longer have to be on the alert for Bam Margera. I don't know if you've been keeping up with, like, for a while, we were supposed to be on the lookout for Bam Margera.
Oh, were we?
He threatened his brother or something, and
I didn't even know he had a brother.
Yeah, his brother's the drummer for CKY.
But they called the cops on him, and he fled into the woods of Chester County.
As it
Oh, is
does.
that the fucking drifter that's in the back of my fucking
And literally,
That tattooed guy in my backyard.
and literally, there were alerts like, "Hey, keep an eye out for Bam Margera." But he has since surrendered peacefully to the police.
Okay.
So
Well,
we no longer have to be on alert.
Just for anybody who is in recovery, I know we're joking about bringing
No.
Bam Margera like a dime bag of Coke, but no, seriously, hopefully you're doing well there, and hopefully Bam's doing.
He's not doing well.
No,
But it did spawn a couple funny TikToks of people with green screened woods behind them, holding up boom boxes playing CKY or him on it, like saying trying to call Bam Margera out from the woods.
That's great.
But the one time I was down, as we mentioned on the podcast before, I had a child very young, so we were doing the whole custody.
What, like 2021?
Yeah, like 2021. So we were doing the whole custody thing, and we were meeting with. It was the day we had to go to court, and we were meeting my lawyer, and right across from the courthouse is the Lowe's.
Yeah.
Or right close to the courthouse is the Lowe's.
Yep.
So we had met in the lobby of the Lowe's, and I start seeing people walking by with the fucking Secret Service earpieces in. And then I start seeing people walk by, and a dude had a camera, and I'm like, "The fuck is going on?" And then some woman, Bam Margera, and I believe his now ex-wife, walked through the lobby, and they were filming the show on MTV where they're planning his wedding. I was like, "Oh, that's fucking weird." If I'm not mistaken, they actually did end up getting married at the Lowe's.
They might have.
So,
that's cool.
I was like, "Oh shit!" I'm like,
Let's go. That's one of the cool things about working in downtown Philly. So I used to have my offices in the Rittenhouse Hotel in Rittenhouse Square, and there would be people like famous people all the time walking by. And
Didn't you say
whatnot.
you met the guy from American Pickers?
Excuse me. I did. The dude Mike. I was getting ready. Like it was in the morning. Hit the fucking elevator button to go up, and the door opens and it's him. And like I say hi to everybody. It's just if you see me, I'll be like, yo, what's up?
Yeah.
It's just what I do. And so I was just like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, oh fuck! And he just starts laughing, and he's like, how do I get out of here? I'm like, oh, you go that way. And he's like, oh, okay, well, thanks. I'm like, all right, man, have a good day.
I have that problem now where like so at work they have this thing this acronym called GET. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to greet, engage, and thank every customer.
Right.
So it's at the point now where like so when I was dayside I wore an apron, but now that I'm overnights I don't wear an apron. So but I'm still there for a couple hours while the store is open, and I forget that when I'm not wearing an apron, I just look like a random guy who would be in a Home Depot.
Right.
So I just still say hello. Like the only thing that makes me look like I work there is that I have a pair of bright orange gloves hanging from my hip.
Okay.
So I still like I say hi to like every person in the store that I come across, and I realize that like, I look like a crazy person because I just look like some random guy with a beard, fucking talking to people in Home Depot. But it's at the point where like I've started like saying hi to people like in like literally like I'll be in any store and like I'll walk past and I'm like, oh hey, how's it going? I'm like, oh, I'm not in my store.
No,
I'll be like in Target. I'll be like, I don't work here. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's a retail thing. It just happens. I still fucking do.
I work in a grocery store, and not my local one. So when I'm in my local one and people are like looking for things, I have to stop myself from being like, I actually cleaned up a display case that got knocked over the other day.
So what I'll do, I worked in clothing for a long time, like clothing retail. So sometimes if I'm in a store, like if I'm not shopping for myself, like if Katie's shopping or whatever, or just, you know what I mean, if kids are in town.
You'll just start measuring people?
No. I'll start like if I see like a fucked up like shirt, I'll just start folding the shirts and putting them back. I'll be like, and it's like, what else am I doing? I'm just
you don't need this. You don't need the board thing.
Not anymore, man. When you do it long enough, you figure that shit out. You don't need the board. The board is nice though. Yeah. It is nice to have the folding board. So,
hey Paul.
Yeah.
Why are we all gathered here in the Asphalt Record Garage today?
Well, we're not there yet.
Just drinking.
Jumping ahead. No, we are.
What else do we got to do?
Well, we got to talk about what we've been up to.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
You know,
we've been talking so
much. I have a script.
I'm sorry.
Here.
We've been talking so much shit that I forgot. Hey, did you happen to mention who our theme music was?
Oh fuck! I did not. Thank you. Well, he threw me off when he like kind of did. He like. I don't know if it's gonna make it on there, but like we do like. All right, so
I recreate it again
to be able to sync up the so people know to be able to sync up the audio and the video because
Can you grab me one of them?
We record the you got a fucking coaster sitting right there and you're just it's an empty can.
Empty.
Okay, all right, cool.
Chill the fuck out. I've been using the coaster. Do you see the fucking ring?
All right, fair enough. So at any rate, so to sync up the audio and the video, which we record them separately, our director, producer, and editor Jack, my son, says that we have to do like a kind of like Wayne's World to go 3, 5, 4, 3. That except that we don't do that. We actually have to count down from 3 and then clap our hands. So what I'm hoping is gets on here is that Adam knows we're doing it. Zach has no idea. So we do 3, 2, 1, and Zach did like a half clap, and then he realized, oh fuck, I shouldn't be clapping. And he's like, oh, let me play with my beard.
Before our shows, our little tradition is before we say it is. We do we say really big show. Like, and so we always clue in guests that we have on the podcast.
Okay.
I'm sure we clued you in.
Well, what is your show now that you mentioned your show?
Summer Movie Club.
And what have you been up to?
Summer Movie Club.
Summer Movie Club. And what have you guys been up to with Summer Movie Club?
Me not watching the movie when I'm supposed to.
Okay.
We actually are. Our next episode is on Wet Hot American Summer.
Okay, right, yeah. Adam
I don't know if Adam had mentioned we came back from a hiatus and we kind of made a list. We each contributed 5 movies.
Right.
Kind of what you guys.
Mm-hmm. You stole my idea. It's fine.
Yeah. We each contributed 5 movies of just movies that because we do a lot of themes, and so it like kind of cuts out movies that like we really want to talk about and we've been waiting to.
Yeah.
So we're like, we're coming back. We don't really have like a thing that we need to do. So let's just make a list of 5 and then we'll just randomly select them. Kind of like again, like I said, like you guys are doing. Am I touching my face a lot?
No. You keep putting your hand over your face, and I don't want you.
We're on video. This is
Yeah,
like
I know.
the summer movie
Trust me.
club.
I
don't want you.
Don't think I didn't pick out my shirt.
You can
based on what.
You can touch your face all you want. I just don't want you to keep your hand in front of your mouth to cover your audio.
Actually, since COVID, you're not supposed to touch your face.
It's true.
So yeah, we've been going through Billy Madison. Adam had said we just was our last one we recorded, I believe, was our live watch. That was one of mine. And this coming week we're supposed to be recording Wet Hot American Summer, another one of mine. I don't think because I think we're almost done all of mine. I think.
Just so you guys know, Jack Black is in neither one of those movies.
He is in
He's
either.
not in
either.
either of those movies.
A lot
Clearly,
of people,
because Jack Black denier.
Everybody but Jack Black is in Wet Hot American Summer.
Exactly, but
yeah, that's so what, aside from Summer Movie Club, are we asking what I'm doing or what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, like what are you up to?
What are you up to?
Aside from Summer Movie Club, no.
Not a whole lot. Okay, all right. What are you up to? Okay, go
I watch Succession, and like my week revolves around working, trying to watch the movie for the podcast, and watching Succession.
Okay, all right. What have you been up to, Adam?
I've made some clothing purchases this week.
Oh yeah,
Clothing, yes.
Okay.
So far, every episode, I think maybe one I was wearing a different hat, but for the majority of the episodes, I've been wearing this hat. I'm a really big fan of it. If you can't see the logo, it is made by a company called Ape and Bird. If you look them up online, it's just apeandbird.com. But they make all their hats are like hand sewn. All the brims are like handmade in house and everything like that. So I really love this fucking hat because it's got a pencil holder in it. And I just ordered literally the exact same hat, just black.
okay.
And I forgot that all of their shit is like literally like handmade, made to order. So I just happened to be on the website this morning looking at something, and I realized at the top of the thing it says there's a disclaimer. It says please allow 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, I forgot that everything's handmade. So I'm a big fan of these hats, so I bought another one. Check out Ape and Bird if you like hats with pencil holders in them. But that specific market.
All 4 of you out there that are super into that.
I have this irrational fear. You know how when you go on vacation and you pack like you're going away for a week and you pack enough pairs of underwear as if you're going to shit yourself 3 times a day for every day that you're down there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
actually, I don't wear underwear on vacation.
Yeah,
but
it's understandable.
Well, it's a vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a vacation. It's a vacation from
If
underwear.
I'm on vacation, I want to shit my pants. I'm
Yeah.
on vacation. I don't have to be fancy.
So I have this irrational fear that
Not putting on airs.
I have this irrational fear that like I'm in that same sense of like I might run out of underwear while I'm on vacation. I have that fear about socks all the time.
See, I fucking love socks. I have a drawer full, so I actually had to get rid of them because I'm like, I haven't worn these socks in like 3 years. But like, I fucking love socks.
If I have less than 10 pairs of socks, I start to worry.
See, I've never, when I've gone on vacation and packed, I've never had the idea of underwear and socks and packing a ton of them disconnected at all. Like it's the same.
Maybe
thing.
we
It's
all
like-
should be in jail because that's like a big thing in jail for people like from commissary to get their socks and shit like that. Yeah.
And holding people's pockets.
Holding people's pockets, yes.
So,
my
are you
pocket.
saying we would thrive in jail,
I
or
think- well,
we should
or we
be in jail because of how we think?
I'm just saying, just the way we think, we're probably like wired to be in jail.
Probably.
So-
I'm too pretty for jail.
No, you're perfect.
I've been inside, man. I'm never going back.
But yeah, so I bought a new hat, and it'll probably be here in like a month. So viewers at home,
So in 6 weeks,
so
you
in
might
6
see a new
weeks,
hat.
look for that black hat. I'm currently wearing a pair of the new socks that I had that I got.
Very nice.
I'm very brand loyal to things, so like I for a long time, probably like almost 10 years, I only wore the jeans that they sold at PacSun, the Bullhead,
Yeah.
and then PacSun is no longer. So
Okay. I used to work
Like,
for
not at all?
PacSun.
yeah, I don't think PacSun's. I don't think PacSun
You've
exists
had a lot
anymore.
of jobs.
I've had a lot.
You
of
worked at
jobs.
the PacSun at Franklin Mills.
I did not. I
thought you
worked
did.
at the PacSun in Cherry Hill.
The
and
Gap
I
you
at
worked
the
at was
Pac-
at Franklin Mills.
The Gap was, and the Guest was at Franklin
Guess
Mills.
and
Yeah.
Gap, yep. But no, I worked at the PacSun in Cherry Hill, and then I worked at the PacSun in Voorhees, New Jersey, at the Echelon Mall, which is no more.
I thought you worked at the one at Franklin Mills as
Nope.
well. Can't
Nope.
remember.
Nope.
But yeah, so for a while I only wore Bullhead jeans. Now I've just gone full dad mode and have switched to Target jeans.
Okay.
But I used to wear Vans to work, and then I realized that I move 75-pound cases of tile around,
Yes,
and I
and-
should probably wear something more protective of my
Yes.
feet. So I started wearing steel toes, but I was wearing like not ankle socks, but like slightly higher than ankle socks.
Yeah.
And the top of my boot was like digging into my ankle.
Yeah.
So I started wearing boot socks, and I just randomly bought like the first kind that I found on Amazon. It was like Dickies like high like boot socks. So now I've gone through like 10 pairs of Dickies boot socks in the past like 3 years.
Cool.
So yeah, I bought a bunch of clothing, and that's about it.
All right, I have some shows coming up on this is going to air on Thursday the 18th, so happy Thursday the 18th. Tomorrow night, Friday night, 5/19, I will be at the Irish Horn. I'll be playing music at the Irish Horn in Richborough.
Oh, I was there. I like
Yeah,
that
you
place.
were there. Yeah, it's a cool place. Cool. It's my second time playing there, so come on out to that, or you can come see me Saturday the 20th. I'll be during the day. I'll be at Wycombe Winery, which is in Furlong, or however you say it, here up in Bucks County, and then I'll be leaving the winery and going to play in Tiernaneau in Trenton and making fun of the owner of Tiernaneau because the Bruins have a first round exit after having the best regular season in NHL history. Other than that, my deck is almost done.
It is.
So I'm excited about that.
It's looking really good.
Yep, they're going to put the railing and the lights up this week, so that should be good, and then that's done. And also, I have a very exciting thing about Ottsville Record Garage. I was,
You bought a garage door opener?
I bought a garage door. No, I did not. But, OttsvilleRecordGarage.com. Really, ultimately, this podcast is an advertisement for Ottsville Record Garage.
The commercial that this is.
Yes. So I have a thing on the site, right? So, and I think I've talked about this before, where like I'm mainly selling used vinyl, right? But we do have a smattering of new vinyl, and I can get new vinyl in stock. But I don't carry a whole lot of it because of the 15 to 20,000 records that we have here in the garage, the vast majority of them are used and they're not listed for sale. So I have to really focus on that. But I do list some new stuff. I try to keep up on new releases and just like some catalog things and whatnot. But I have, if you do want something that's like brand new factory sealed and you just see that it's not in stock, we do have a thing where you can set up that you can click to notify me when it's in stock.
I'm currently on the website.
Yeah,
right now,
send over your email address and whatnot. And so what that does, if you look on a list and just like pick a random record that says sold out.
David Bowie Space Odyssey.
There you go. So there's the red box off to the right.
That's it.
Notify me when in stock. So if you click on that, you put your email in. I get an email that says, "Hey, someone wants this," and then I can order it from the distributor and get it in stock. So I started that when I started building the site. And no one has used it until the other day. So what are you putting on?
Doing it.
You're doing it.
I'm putting it in for the.
But that's the thing. Someone who's not me testing it out, or my brother Adam, did that the other day. So I'm like, fuck yes. People were like, maybe starting to get it, and so that's the thing. If you go, it was exciting for me as the person like running the website and trying to build it. That like someone actually read my because also at the top of the website is like, if you never shopped here, fucking read this. I don't say fucking, but I say read this.
Should say fucking maybe.
Maybe people would actually read it.
People would be like, I respect his.
Yes, exactly. But no, so it explains it. So that was exciting to me. That was actually very exciting to me to get that email from someone else. And I ordered the album, and it is available from the distributor, and I'll probably have it in stock like next week, and then I'll make a sale. So that's I know it's all geeky and whatnot, but go check out OttsvilleRecordGarage.com.
Successfully.
There you go.
I did something successful in my life.
Nah, not much.
I gotta say, I'm fascinated by the whole setup you have here. Like I gotta say, I'm not here because I'm enthusiast about records. I'm here because you guys are talking about the emo record that the 14-year-old me loves. But
yes. What is that album anyway? Back to Adam here and his question
we were
earlier.
talking about is the 2002 debut album by Taking Back Sunday entitled "Tell All Your Friends," trying to catch it without the glare on it. But Zach, you were saying that you.
Oh no! I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated by your whole setup here. Like those cassettes over there. Do you sell them?
Yep, they're for sale.
Is that Spice Girls up top?
That is Spice Girls. That is the 25th anniversary of the song "Wannabe." So that's actually a single cassette,
Of the Wannabe?
a single of
Do you
Wannabe.
remember,
Yeah.
I remember. I'm trying to think. And do you remember ever owning any casinos? I remember 2 specifically I owned.
Not specifically.
I owned the casino for Hootie and the Blowfish Only Want to Be With You.
Solid.
That explains a lot about you, but go on.
And the casino for Coolio Gangsta's Paradise.
Yes, actually, that both of those explain. Oh, wait, Coolio. Let's drink it up to Coolio.
Oh,
Rest
cool.
in peace, Coolio.
R.I.P. Coolio.
All right, yeah.
Did I ever tell you, Katie, my Katie?
No, what did we say we're called? Katai.
Katai.
It's Katai now.
Katai.
Yes.
Katai actually drank with Coolio.
Just drank with him, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I forget what show she was at. She was at a show, and she knew someone, so she was backstage at the show.
Was it Coolio?
And
Did she know Coolio?
she knows him now. R.I.P.
Well, she may not have known someone, but she got to know the bouncer really well, and then got backstage.
But yeah, so she was like, oh yeah, I drank with Coolio. I'm like, and this was very much like your, oh, I could have hooked up with Katie Holmes.
Well, I could have.
So she was telling me like, you actually told a completely plausible story. Okay.
That's cool.
Who's the most famous person you've ever drank with, Paul?
Man, that's drank with? Actually, drank with, or just met? Because those are kind of
because I was thinking to myself, I was like, I don't think I drank. Like the most famous person I've probably ever met was Stephen Jenkins from Third Eye Blind.
Okay.
Because my fraternity unloaded for their concert when they played our college.
Okay.
And my one friend, like to Stephen Jenkins' dismay, my one friend kept calling him Stevie Jenkins. He did not appreciate it.
That's great.
But like I don't think I ever drank with a famous. My famous interactions are very limited. But
So drank
either
with,
or.
Drank with, honestly, because like it was probably drank with. Actually sat there and like drank with probably like the band The Tossers from Chicago. They're like if you ever heard of The Tossers, check them out. They're an Irish rock band, and like Birmingham Six opened for them a bunch of times. So yeah, so we got to sit there and fucking sit in the green room, and I'm drinking with Tony Duggins and Pete and everybody else from the band. It was a good time. So so actually sat there and drank with is probably the most famous would be The Tossers. Met. I rode the elevator. And this is the funniest fucking thing in the world. I actually kind of met
You already
him.
told the story about the American Pickers guy.
No. So the most famous person I almost hooked up with was Katie Holmes.
Yeah.
But so I met him the following day, but when I rode the elevator with Angus Young from AC/DC.
Oh, really?
So what happened was my old job was in the
Was he wearing the schoolboy uniform?
That's why it fucking threw me off, because he wasn't.
Yeah.
So I get on the
not as
elevator
hot.
on the 4th floor, and there's like these 3 guys and one of the dudes who works at the hotel. We're sitting there, and I hear him talking, and he starts talking about guitars. It's just as a musician, I'm just going to listen. I'm like,
He starts
cool.
talking about being back in black.
No. But he's like, yeah, I don't know. He was asking me what guitar I play, and I was like, I only play one fucking guitar. I don't know why he was asking me like those questions. And I'm like, all right, well, this guy's someone, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, I don't know who this fucking
The camera
dude is.
just did something.
Oh, who knows? Well, whatever. We'll find out. I think it died, actually. Good thing we're
It's
doing
still
a double.
on, Paul, so I'm going to say no, it
No, I'm
didn't.
talking about
it looks like it
recording.
it looks like it split into like 9 things.
Yeah,
No,
so we're trying, just so you guys know what we're doing here is we're trying to move from recording on my iPad to an actual camera, and so we are actually double recording this right now. So hopefully that improves quality and upload time, but yeah, the camera just did something weird. So just to give you guys a point of reference. So at any rate,
We planned ahead.
yes.
Maybe it was just a hey, I'm a camera. Remember, I'm here.
Yes.
kind
Like,
of
hey guys, talk about
Hey.
what you guys did. Ask what I did this week.
Hey.
So I'm on the elevator. I hear this dude talking. He's talking about guitars. I'm like, man, this guy looks familiar, but I don't know who the fuck it is. Like, I'm trying to think, like, who the fuck's in town? And, he's sitting there and he's just talking. And he's like, not including me in the
And then
conversation, but he's not ignoring
You
me
can't
either.
figure out who he is, and then when he left the elevator, he did that like duck walk, like
Yeah, no.
Chuck Berry duck walk thing he
So,
does.
so we walk out. He goes one way. I'm going the other way. I'm like, all right, who the fuck's in town tonight? Because like there were a lot of like celebrities and bands and shit like that. That stayed
It
at
was
the
the
hotel.
Grammys, so
Yeah, and so I go up and I'm on fucking Walnut Street, out to get my lunch, and I just fucking stop, and I'm like, no, because that's when I see AC/DC's in town, and that's where it all came to me. Like, fuck, I was just in the fucking elevator with Angus Young. So that's probably the most famous person like I've ever met.
Do you meet most famous people in elevators?
It's usually,
I met Michael Bublé in the elevator too. Yeah,
it's either in elevators or airport bathroom stalls.
Yes, I was like so. I've met Angus Young. I met Michael Bublé in the elevator. The dude who don't know what his name is, but he fucking
Mike from American Pickers.
Mike from American Pickers.
No,
Jack
he was Black from High Fidelity.
No, never met Jack Black. But he was in that movie, The Girl Next Door with Elisa Schubert.
Oh,
not the main guy, like the porn guy, like the antagonist of the movie.
Oh, Timothy Olyphant.
Yes. So I took the elevator with him. He was nice. He was a nice guy. Like
was he very handsome?
He was. He was
very
handsome.
handsome.
He had those dreamy eyes. I'm like,
He seems very handsome.
But no, he was a nice guy. I was like, Henry Winkler I ran into.
Yeah.
Was he as nice as? Again, this is my only question about nice is people when you meet famous people, how nice they are. Henry Winkler is supposed to be the nicest man in Hollywood.
He was pretty
Him
nice.
and Tom Hanks are supposed to be.
It would be great if like
Winkler was nice.
if like you got on the elevator, like Henry Winkler was on the elevator and you were running to it and he just hit the close button. And you're like actually kind of a dick.
And he's like, hey.
Well, actually would have been funny. No, I actually ran into Henry Winkler in Rittenhouse Square. We were
What do you do?
I don't know if you guys. Okay,
now it's not doing
all right,
it.
so now the camera died,
All right,
just so you guys know. So we're all iPad right now.
That was its death.
That was
rattle.
its death. Yeah, I think it died. I don't know if you guys heard that.
Pour some out for the camera.
For the camera. For
I
the camera.
just- I just
Doesn't matter.
pushed my
All right. So yeah. So back to what we're actually here. God, this is gonna be a 4-hour podcast. Anyway,
That's all right. The High Fidelity episode ended up going really fucking long.
That's good.
Yeah, because you guys just had a bunch of talking.
But, so is somebody here? Somebody here talking? I just.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Paul, how's your day going?
Mine is great.
So as I said a minute ago, it was released on March 26th of 2002. Recorded at Big Blue Meanie Recording in New Jersey. It was this was put out on Victory, and it was produced by Sal.
It really just says New Jersey. Like, I'm gonna give it
I looked it up. It's in it's a hyperlink, so I clicked it. It's in Hackensack.
Okay.
It was apparently founded in
For a second there, I thought you were going to say Pakistan.
Pakistan, New Jersey. It was apparently founded in 1991. But it was produced by Sal Villanueva, which we will talk about later on as we get into the album.
Yes.
I found funny on Wikipedia listed for singles from Tell All Your Friends. It's only 2, and neither of them are the first video that I saw for
everything
it.
everything I've seen is 3 because technically they released Great Romances before.
Yeah, so the album was released on March 26th. The single for Great Romance of the 20th Century was released on March 12th. But the other single that they have listed on Wikipedia is You're So Last Summer.
Right.
And so mine and Zach's history with this album is very similar. Me and Zach were watching MTV2 in our parents' living room one night, and the video for Cute Without the E, Cut from the Team, came on, and that kind of started our love affair with Taking Back Sunday. But I just find it weird that Cute Without the E isn't.
That's not my love.
Wow.
that
Wow.
what?
He's like,
No, I
fuck
have
you.
an-
I
I
put
have
words
a-
into my mouth.
I have the reason I'm on this podcast is because this is my favorite band of all time. This is my favorite album of all time. I have a very definitive origin story, and it has nothing to do with MTV.
Let's hear it.
No,
Let's
I
hear
thought
it.
because I could have swore like when I thought we've had this discussion where it was like, oh yeah, that was the first time we okay, continue.
The first time
What's
I
your
heard-
history with the album?
The first time I heard Taking My... So, just to give a brief history on my music, interest. Before, the John Mulaney joke? You know the John Mulaney joke where he says he was a very gay...
Oh yeah. He's like something along the lines of.
Are you coming out on the podcast?
Yeah.
Nah.
His joke is something along the lines of like when they were making
What the
him.
hell is this?
When they were making him, they started to make a gay person and then just forgot to hit the switch before they sent him out.
At a certain point,
He's like, you didn't make that one gay. He's like, oh, that's gonna be a very interesting person.
Yeah, but no, he also has a joke about being like a very gay little boy. He's like I'm not having sex with like.
Oh yeah,
other men.
he's talking about how like
I have very hard opinions about
yeah,
things.
little kids have very
So,
hard opinions.
my first memories of music are like the mid to late 90s pop music, like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and stuff like Kylie was listening to, or Sister Kylie. And I didn't really have a musical identity then. And then my first band that I got into that like I really identified as a band I liked was Blink-182.
Zach and I have often referred to Blink-182 as the gateway drug for the type of shit that me and Zach listen to. It's not like it's kind of like a jumping off point to get you kind of into more heavier. I mean, not to say Taking Back Sunday is heavier, but yeah, not pop punk.
So I got into Blink-182 and then started Green Day. The first concert I ever went to, Paul, I believe you went.
Yeah, I had to take you. I had to drive.
The first two concerts.
I think we talked about that for a while. Paul was the designated. If one of us was going to a concert, Paul had to take us.
So the first concert I ever went to, I split my first concerts into two categories. The first live music show I was ever at was the Pop Disaster Tour, Blink-182 and Green Day.
There was a third band on that, wasn't there?
Saves the Day.
Saves the Day. Okay, right.
And you guys were talking about what that place is called now.
Yeah, I forget what it is now.
What?
Yeah.
The Tweeter Center?
Yeah, the place in
I think it might have been the Tweeter Center then.
It might have been. I will say about that concert. I remember going to that, and it was like you and like it was like I was like I could have gone to jail that night. I swear to God, if people like looked at it backwards, because it's me, my brother, and like two other 14-year-old girls.
Some girl was really into me
God,
and literally bought me tickets to this concert.
Right. So that and she bought my ticket too.
Yeah,
That's great.
And you know what? Looking back on it, I was probably a dick. I never was like outright like mean to this girl. But I wasn't into this girl.
Yeah,
but, like,
I wasn't mean to her. I just used her for Blink-182 tickets.
I didn't ask for the tickets.
Did you?
No, I didn't. She just came up to me one day. I was like, hey, she knew I liked them and she really liked me. And she's like, hey, I got these tickets for you. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But she was a very nice girl and I hope she's doing well. As far as I could tell.
Do you remember her name? Give her a shout.
Erica Schwartz.
Erica Schwartz.
She was a very nice girl.
Not all heroes wear cape. Let's have one for Erica Schwartz.
Erica Schwartz is a very nice girl. So no, I remember that. And it's funny because like I remember like I'm like, oh God, I gotta take my little brother to this fucking concert. I don't want to see it because like I've seen Blink-182.
I think I've heard Paul refer to them multiple times affectionately as Blink-180 Screw. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
I have a theory, by the way, about Blink-182.
You said didn't you say you've met them?
I did meet them, which is one of the reasons why I'm not a fan.
Elevator?
Because no, this
At
was
Warped Tour, wasn't
this
it?
is backstage at the Warped Tour in 1996, and they were dicks. Like all three of them were just
They all
dicks.
seem like dicks.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I didn't like it. But at that concert we went to, I actually became a Green Day fan because of that concert. Because like I was indifferent.
Was that International Super Hits era?
Probably because my first concert, actually, Paul's ex-wife brought me to, was Green Day with Jimmy Roll when they were touring.
That was American Idiot.
Yeah. So it was probably International Super Hits era Green Day.
But then the first concert I consider, because like based on like how like the music we listened to.
Real quick, for the Pop Disaster, did you guys have seats?
We had seats.
Okay, continue.
Because that's going to play into what I'm talking about. The scene that you and me like grew up in was like that like emo, pop punk, post-hardcore, whatever, like that kind of scene. And like part of that I felt like was being in those crowds.
So I think I know exactly where you're going. So you classify your first show. So your first show was Pop Disaster, but you had seats. But you classify your first show that you were in a pit.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what I do, because my first concert that I ever went to was Green Day and Jimmy Eat World, but we were in like the fucking nosebleeds at the Wachovia Center. Or the Wells Fargo.
Was it there? Or was it actually still at the Spectrum?
No.
It was at the center.
It was at the center? Okay.
Yeah, it was at the center. But the first concert that what I consider my first concert was Zack taking me to see Coheed and Cambria at the artist formerly known as the Electric Factory.
So,
that I've recently, that concert has come up in conversation recently because I was chatting up a lady friend.
Yeah.
That she was also at that concert.
So you mentioned first concerts. Like everybody asked me, like, what's your first concert?
I know what your first concert was.
What was it?
Guar?
No.
No.
Oh, wait. Well, let me get there. My very first concert was actually, and to what you guys are saying, my very first concert was actually the Fat Boys.
Oh, okay.
The Fat Boys performed after a Sixers game. So this dude took me to a Sixers game.
Just some guy.
Well, it was Mr. Campbell. Rest in peace, Mr. Campbell. He's dead. Yeah. So he had an extra ticket to Sixers game, so they picked me up. I went to see the Sixers, and the Fat Boys were performing at the Sixers game.
I haven't thought about that guy in forever.
So the Fat Boys is you have the pizza,
human beatbox.
The pizza box.
Yeah. The 1980s rap.
Who are the guys that did a movie where they were orderlies in a hospital?
That's the Fat Boys.
It
was called Orderlies. I fucking love the Fat Boys. So if you guys ever do the Orderlies,
in my brain.
if you ever do the Orderlies, I better be on that fucking episode because
we were both orderlies, so it would make sense if we did.
Dude, we should have done an Orderlies episode by now.
You gotta do Orderlies.
This should have been episode number 1.
It's coming up.
Why did we do Nightmare Before Christmas first?
Fuck that movie.
Yeah. But at any rate, so it was the Fat Boys. But my first concert, as to what you guys are saying, is our brother Brian. We got a lot of dead people on this. It's like the dead people. Like this should have been the Smiths episode since we're talking about all these
This
fucking
is like
dead
the
people.
Sixth Sense episode.
But at any rate,
Zack's Haley Joel.
So he took me and my friend Sean, who is in the Unholy Four. Which fuck you mentioned the intro. I didn't do it. Our intro music is the Unholy Four from Charlottesville. I did. From Charlottesville, Virginia. Go check out the Unholy Four.
I was waiting for saying the Unholy Four were dead and we went out to check.
No. But at any rate, so we did the he took Brian, our brother Brian took me and Sean to see Guar at the Trocadero Theater. It's I think they're actually just talking about bringing a truck back, but that was
the truck gone?
The truck's been dead for
It's
a
been
bit.
dead for a while, yeah, a couple years now. Yeah. So, but that was like, it's
And
the
if
same
I'm not
thing.
mistaken, you told me this story.
That's how long it's been since I've been going to shows regularly.
You
I had
saw,
no idea.
you saw Guar at the truck, and you got eaten by the thing that lives under their drums.
Ooh,
No.
Somebody-
So okay,
chill.
so what it is it's funny because Sean told this story to Beefcake, the bass player who owns the Guar Bar in Richmond, Virginia, and apparently he fucking loved this story. So I'm 14 years old, like somewhere between 8th grade and 9th grade, and I'm at this Guar concert and like my brother explained it to me, but like I didn't really, you have to experience Guar.
Brian didn't prepare you for the lead singer coming green all over
No,
the
he did
crowd?
not. He did not. But like, that's what I'm saying. If regardless if you like the music or not, if you are a art fan, if you are
a fan of stage and theater,
exactly, you should go see Guar just to experience Guar.
Is that what they also say about Alice Cooper?
Yeah, well, Alice Cooper is funny because I got my poster over there, Super Duper Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper was actually very much inspired by Dolly, the artist, and like what is it? Can't think of the abstract, not
Surrealism.
Surrealism. Thank you. Yes. So, and that's basically what Alice Cooper was going for, was to do Dolly, which is funny because he got to like actually do some stuff with Salvador Dali before Dali had died. But at any rate, so yes,
Dolly.
Let's say the Dolly. All right. So yeah, so the story is, I still, well, not so much anymore, but I used to love stage diving. I used to love getting put up and all that kind of shit. So like I turned to this big dude. I'm like, hey buddy, I'm like a little 14-year-old kid. I'm like, put me up, and he's like, really? I'm like, yeah. So he's like, all right, put your foot in. So put my foot in his hands. He fucking throws me up. I'm like, or like, I'm like, floating over the crowd at the fucking Trocadero. And I'm sitting there, and Odorous, this is, Odorous is dead.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Abraham Lincoln.
God damn it. So, Odorous is up there singing, and I'm like floating up, and I see him point at me. I'm like, yeah, fucking Odorous, yeah. And then he points to the right, where there's a giant meat grinder, where they're throwing people into the meat grinder. And this is the part where, like, I'm like, oh my God, you're going to throw me in the meat grinder. Like, fucking freak out. I'm like, give me down. So I didn't actually go through the meat grinder, but, like, I got people to put me down because I was fucking 14 years old and scared out of my fucking ass.
It's like this.
Some dude just ejaculated neon green on me. Of course I wasn't going to go in the meat grinder.
Exactly.
There's this, in Northeast Philly, there's a, where did Kylie get married? What's it called?
Concerts.
They have their Volkfest. They're like, was it Memorial Day or Labor Day?
It's Labor Day. It's the
Yeah.
Oktoberfest.
And they
Where
have
the girls like
the
go
girl,
down
they
there.
put an ugly woman down a thing.
Maybe that's what happened, Paul. Maybe the reason why you have
would
no
come
hair
out. Maybe you would have come out handsome.
No, it's called genetics. You fucking dicks.
Is that how long we've been going?
Yeah, that's how long we've been
Alright, so
going.
let's-
So we're
should
already
we
been,
talk
been
about
on here
Bro-
for almost an hour.
Okay,
So-
so we've only mentioned where the album was recorded and what year, and Zach's history with it. So Blink-182.
Oh wait, but no. Oh yeah. So I got into Blink-182. Blink-182 started a clothing company. Mark and Tom from Blink-182 started a clothing company called Atticus, and Atticus started releasing compilation albums, which was something I'm
Dragging the Lake was the name of the compilation.
If there's something I miss most about the music scene in like the mid 2000s to
was like the Warped Tour compilations and the
compilations in general, because now that
Punkoramas and
now that we're into the streaming thing, it's just not a viable really like thing to do. But like, so they did a Atticus Volume 1, I believe, in 2003 or 4. But Atticus Dragging the Lake came out in 2000. No, it must have been earlier than that, because Atticus Dragging the Lake Volume 2 came out in March of 2003.
Okay.
I bought that because it had Blink-182 on it. And it also had a song on it called Your So Last Summer.
The first Atticus Dragging the Lake was released in May of 2022.
There you go. It has a song on it called Your So Last Summer by Taking Back Sunday. Now, at that point, I'm a sophomore in high school. And I remember I'm sitting in Spanish class waiting for class to start, listening to my Discman. And I'm ironically sitting behind a very successful punk and emo indie whatever music producer now, Will Yip.
Yep. I met Will Yip a bunch of times.
He's sitting in front of me in class. I'm listening to it. I hear Taking Back Sundays, You're So Last Summer. I hear the line, the truth is you could slit my throat, and with my one last gasping breath, I'd apologize for bleeding on your shirt.
Which is funny because I wrote that note down. That is actually probably the best line on the whole fucking album. It's a great line.
I'm willing to argue that that's probably one of the greatest emo lyrics ever written of all time.
It's good. It's solid. That is one of the things I will say about this before we get into this. The lyrics, the writing, the words of this album overall is really good. The lyrics are really good on this album. But that is a great line.
I was not worried because I'm allowed to like what I like. You're allowed to like what you're like.
Yeah, I mean you're
what
wrong.
you like.
But...
So if you didn't like this, if you don't like this album.
Oh, Zach was telling me he was fully prepared to.
Oh no.
If you started going off on Taking Back on Tell All Your Friends like you went off
because
on
I was
Is a Real Boy,
because I was
fully prepared.
I listened
to
the Is a Real Boy episode.
That sucks.
And you're
not the episode. The episode's great. You should go back and watch episode.
Oh no, it's
3. Says Anything is a Real Boy. Watch our
Did you say
episode. Says yeah, I did. Don't listen to the album. No, the album's horrible.
Listen to Say Anything. That says anything.
Says anything. Said anything.
I get what you mean, yeah. and I can't argue what you're saying on that album.
Okay.
And I was worried that you were going to think the same about this.
Okay, so we'll get into that since we're going there. So my feelings on this album are. It's okay.
Well, we've just heard your opinion on the lyrics. So you said lyrics are
because I'll say this. This is like if I did I say already? This is my favorite.
Yeah, you
album.
did.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna break your heart right now. This album, and this is the best way I can describe this album. Number one, it's okay. Like I'm gonna say, my opinion on this album is it's okay. This album. Excuse me. Oh, another Takati! You're finally warming up to the Mexican people.
I told you when on my check-in, it's a top button.
Oh yeah, I always remember.
I did the same thing.
I've done that like
for the record.
4 times.
We started Zack off with a 9% beer.
Yeah.
So
I also had
had
a couple of beers.
The one he's drinking is a 7.5.
Because I'm not gonna lie. I was
a 6.
I was a little nervous about coming here today.
No, you've had a hard life, buddy. You can drink as much as you want right now.
Because normally I'm just bullshitting on my own podcast,
right?
And
no one can see you.
There's only one guy named Benny in Bangladesh listening.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of this, I'm sorry to cut you off, but Benny in Bangladesh, right? So we got, I was saying about at Bahrain, how we, we're up to fucking 4% of our listeners are in Bahrain.
4% of our listeners.
We're from 2% to 3% to 4%. So we're, we have a 4% of our listenership on Spotify. We have 96% in the US and 4% are from fucking Bahrain.
That's awesome.
So to our friends in Bahrain.
But seriously, I'm sitting at home thinking like, God, I gotta go and I'm usually talking about movies.
Uh-huh.
Now I gotta go talk about music, which I don't know jack shit about.
Yeah, no, I know. I know the bands you listen to. You're right.
I don't know jack shit about music. Not only am I doing that, but I'm going on a podcast that's advertising a company that somebody is hoping that has financial success.
It's all good. But no, so here's the best way.
Someone's like, "Who could buy that Spice Girls single?"
Yeah,
and that fucking jackass Zack was.
Did you hear Zack on the podcast? No, I don't want that single.
No, I don't want that single.
So here's how I
was gonna buy both of them.
Here's how I describe this album. Number one, I feel my overall impression of this album is it's okay.
And that's fine with me.
This album is a shower, not a grower.
Okay. Explain.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you know what that term means,
Yes.
right? Okay, so if you guys don't know what a shower, not a grower is, or a grower, not a shower, you should just look that shit up, right?
Did you look at this album's dick?
No, I did not. But at any rate, but here's the thing, because this album, and I will say that, like, getting back to the concerts, I did take Zack to see this band once at the Electric
did
Factory.
I even get to that?
We didn't. We're going all over the place.
I got ninja kicked in the chest.
Right, well, that's...
a Treyu fan.
Right, and I wanted to fucking kick that guy's ass
Fucking
because
ass.
fucking asshole didn't know how to dance in the pit, but like whatever.
Funeral for a Friend was the main opening band.
Funeral for a Friend was good. It was Treyu, Funeral for a Friend, and Taking Back Sunday. And
this is them just like their first tour record. Supporting where you want to be.
That's a weird fucking show.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But
I got ninja kicked.
Funeral with a Friend was good. I didn't
like
particularly care for Taking Back Sunday or a Treyu.
I
But
do remember you saying in the moment that you weren't a fan of the music, but you appreciated the musicality.
yes, which is true, which stands true on this. So this album here, like I said, it's a shower, not a grower, because the first song, like when I listened to this, because I haven't listened to them since the second time I saw them, which you were not at that concert. I think you were supposed to be at the concert. Again, it was at the place in Camden. I ended up taking Kylie and I think Dan. Mm-hmm. You were supposed to go, but you had to work or something. I don't remember. It was them and Jimmy Eat World.
Yeah, I didn't go to that show.
And I was interested in the Jimmy Eat World, and they kind of disappointed
You said
me.
they disappointed you. I remember
You know what
talking.
the most interesting show I've ever seen Taking Back Sunday play was? I saw them open up. They were the first band in a 3-band set. It was them, and then who was in the middle? Because Weezer. It was them, Weezer, and Blink. It was a Blink-182's reunion tour. So it was Taking Back Sunday, Weezer, and Blink-182.
That's a weird fucking show too.
Yeah, it was.
So-
it was definitely a weird show.
So back to
Weezer played a great set.
This album starts off with "You Know How I Do," right?
My yearbook quote song.
And when I listened to this again, when I started listening to this earlier on this week to do this, I was actually like, oh man, like hearing this, I'm like, oh, okay, no, maybe I took this wrong, because I was like, no, this is good, and like right away, it fucking grabs you. Mm-hmm. That's the best song on the album. And everything else is just whatever. You know what I mean? Because from my opinion, this album, I wrote notes. I paid attention to this because I knew how important this band was to you. I actually paid attention. This album, in my opinion, lacks depth.
Well, here's
I could see that.
You know, the lyrics again, the lyrics, and I even actually went back this morning. Preparing for today's podcast, I even went back and looked up the lyrics for the songs again for that one line, which I think absolutely fucking fabulous line. It really is. It really is one of probably the best like emo lines in emo history. But it just, the album lacks depth. It starts off like bang, this is this. And I'm like, and again, like I've listened to this, like I tell you, I try to listen to albums like 3 times, and because you can go back and look at this. Say Anything, I had trouble getting through it. I went to listen to other stuff. The fucking very first Slayer album, I was like, I fucking listen to it, but I try to listen to the albums 3 times. I listened to this album, no lie, like 7-8 times in the last week.
Same.
Do you know what I mean? Because to prepare for it, and plus it was like, okay, I don't, and that was the thing where I think like that gives me the it's okay, it's a shower not a grower, because it didn't, there was nothing beyond that first song, and granted I did come up with the top 3 favorites, but there was nothing besides the lyrics about this album that really set it apart from the first song. You had the first song, and the second song is pretty good too, but then it's just kind of like, okay, this is all kind of the same idea, the same feeling throughout the rest of the album.
I understand what you mean.
You know, whereas like when we listen to the Wonder Years, everything, like there's different dynamics to that album, and sometimes dynamics are down. Like albums can go down, which is good. Like, you know, you want peaks and valleys in an album. This album, it starts up here and then it goes like down to here and it just kind of stays there.
I will say that I can, like, again, like what you said about the Say Anything album, I cannot disagree with anything that you're saying about this album.
Because I'm the smarter older brother.
You're the smartest person I've probably ever met. And I've been to museums where people are smart there.
Yes.
What did you do today? Oh, I just went to a museum and
where people were smart. You know what? That is. You know what? That's going to be a Country Hipster podcast. Museums where people are smart.
And I came into recording with this podcast tonight, knowing I love this album the way I love this album. And will always love this album because I heard it at a certain point in my life.
Oh no, absolutely, and that makes it, because there's definitely one album on my 25 that is that, like, it's a great album, and I think it's a great album. But it one of the reasons it ended up on my 25 was because of the point in my life where I heard that album.
Right, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And for a few years, that was the soundtrack of my life. You know what I mean?
As much as Blink-182, as me and Adam have referred to it as, were the gateway drug band, to Taking Back Sunday was that next level of gateway.
Okay, no, I can see that. Yeah.
So, like, everything I listen to now, regardless of what you think of the things I listen to now, like everything I listen to and enjoy is you could connect in some way to this album.
If you put in front of me this album and any Blink-182, I'm gonna choose this album over anything Blink-182.
And that's fine.
One of the things that bugged me about this album was, and I get it because at that time, what year did this album come out?
2002.
Okay, so especially at that time, the whole like screamo background screamo thing, it was an in thing. Which, honestly, I think if they didn't go for the in thing, this album would be better, because all of the screamo shit they do in this.
No, I feel like
necessary.
I feel like this is like the pinnacle. Like this is the like. Excuse if for a second.
No, continue.
My worry.
You're a guest.
When we were going to cover this album was that
in your own home,
because the last album that you covered that I listened to was the Say Anything album, and I love that album as well. I understood what you were saying, and I on a level agreed with everything, but your main point was it almost seems like they were trying to front onto a.
Oh yeah, absolutely were, yeah.
And my worry when we were like coming into this recording is that you were going to think that about this band.
No, just the screamo part of it. Just the scream, like that, it's unnecessary for these songs to be good. These songs would be better without it.
Doesn't like what I think about is screamo, and it might just be how like my progression of finding bands. my idea of screamo, I would never think of Taking Back Sunday.
No, they're
as
not.
screamo.
They're not a screamo band. I'm talking about the screamo elements
Just the
to the
screaming
songs,
band.
the screaming stuff that they do. They're back and forth vocals. There's a lot of back and forth vocals.
What do you specifically think about the call and response vocals? I was curious.
I like those. I actually like those. I like those a lot because like me and Sean in Disunion, we used to do that same thing. And maybe that's where I'm kind of like, ugh. Like when I listen to a band, when I listen to an album, I want it to be something that I can't do.
Yeah.
I could do this album, or I did this album. Do you know what I mean? Like that's kind of thing. Like I want it to, like, I want to listen to something. I want to put my money into something that is beyond what I can do, because I'm not a fucking professional. I'm just some fucking dude who owns a record shop and talks about music on a podcast.
Gigantic.
And happens, I know, it's like fucking huge here. And who happens to play music.
How do you edit out the beeping of the like?
We do. Because
the
we'll have like,
forklifts?
you know what I mean? Yeah, we'll have those stand-up forklifts like they have at Home Depot.
So
We got,
like,
you know.
do you just have Jack just edit it out?
Yes, yeah, he edits all that. like the editing, he's gonna have to edit out the beeping on the camera that died. But that's the thing. And maybe, and honestly, maybe this is me. Maybe this is my issue with this. Although I did like the fucking Wonder Years.
Yeah.
But maybe this
Wonder Years and this are different things.
They're not that.
They're not that far off.
They're not. No, they're not that.
They're
far
not
off.
the same thing, but there's a direct line from A to B.
Because I feel like you have a just general disdain for this genre in this era, like this.
But that's what I'm getting
like,
to. And maybe,
you're not
maybe
going to
that
listen.
is it.
You don't want to hear anything off of Victory Records from 2002.
Well, that's not true,
2005.
because the fucking Tossers are on Victory's records from 2002 to 2005. As a matter of
All right,
fact,
well, let me ask
and
you a
I
question.
fucking love the Tossers, and I've played with the Tossers.
me ask you a question.
drank with the Tossers.
I drank with the Tossers.
Have you listened to any Thursday? Have you heard any Thursday?
Thursday, I've listened to Thursday, so I don't.
Because Thursday not only is on Victory at the same time, is produced by Sal Villanueva.
Okay, here's the thing.
produced it.
I have heard Thursday. I've listened to Thursday. Thursday is not my thing, but I don't have a disdain for Thursday.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Honestly, after this album, I don't have a disdain for Taking Back Sunday.
Right.
I just don't like certain elements of the album that I personally don't feel are necessary to make this a good album. I think if you took away certain elements, like, for instance, the screamo thing is like, this is what brothers do, or whatever it is, whatever the dude's screaming about at the end of the one song. I can't fucking remember what it is.
Do we want to get into, because I thought about this all week. Do we want to get into, do you know the history of Taking Back Sunday at all?
Yeah, no, I don't really care.
Because they're like, I feel like, but like in terms of feeding into what makes me personally, I don't know about you,
I'm just here to listen to good music.
care about the band.
I'm just here for the beer and the bitches.
Is there's this, like, they were the most dramatic band of this era. That, like, between they had a feud with another band.
Well, okay, so but that's listen, man. You're talking about like of this era. That's fucking that's music throughout history.
Right, but
music,
I'm saying,
there's no.
but this is the era where
I know, but that's not new. Like there's
No, I'm not saying
like
it's
you're talking
unique.
about the like, you know, everybody's like, you know, that's fucking like Twitter bullshit stuff that doesn't
How are you
matter.
guys doing today? You guys doing good?
Because you got, you know, you go back and that's through the history of music between, you know, look at it, like everybody was like, well, you know, like, well, okay, you saw the Elvis Presley movie, Mr. Movie, all right, so
I did see that.
what did the fucking Colonel do when he's sitting there?
He talked weird for.
Well, besides that, when
It made me uncomfortable.
where he's showing the Presley family the merchandise, and then the mom looks up and she's like, "What the fuck is this?" and has like the pin that says "I hate Elvis," right? So that's a thing in music for years. The team A, team B. You know, you had who's better, the Beatles or Rolling Stones? You know, it's the Rolling Stones. Obviously, is the obvious answer, but you know, you have that, and you have, you know, the
Actually, I think the answer is C, the Monkeys.
well, that goes without saying too.
That's one of my favorite lines in Walk Hard.
No,
He's like, "You guys are great. You're
I'm
almost
not-
as good as the
I'm not
Monkeys."
saying a feud between bands is
Oh
new.
no, it's not new at all. Like, when,
But I'm just saying, like I'm 14 years old in 2000. what, am I 14 years old?
Well, I was 12,
13 or 14.
so you were like 15.
In 2002, and I'm hearing this music, and then because I heard.
But see, that's something different. There's something different between, you look at, a time in your life. You're emotionally attached to this music, which is fine because I'm emotionally attached to some music. One of the fucking albums on my 25, I'm very emotionally attached to, and that's okay. It's okay, but you have to look objectively.
You're talking about the ABBA album that you have on.
I'm talking about the ABBA album. No, I'm not even talking. I don't even have ABBA. I don't have any album.
It's just the Dancing Queen
This is the single of Dancing Queen.
I play Dancing Queen actually in my solo show.
I've seen you play Dancing Queen before.
I think I do a pretty good job at it. But no, and I get what you're saying, but I think there's the difference between an album being good and be able to look objectively at an album that you're emotionally attached to. Oh, look at that! You're all fancy. Which is what I'm saying. So like, and maybe this is good that we're doing this because I went into this not excited about this album.
It sounds like something you would say at a therapy session.
Yes, yeah.
I think it's good that we're doing this.
Yes. No. Like, but I'm saying, like, I went into this album not necessarily looking forward to this album. Mm-hmm. Okay. And walked away from the album pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
When I say overall the album's okay, that is not necessarily meant to be like an insult to the album because really
it's honestly you saying anything more than you hate this album is a compliment to this album because I said I listened to this album like I'm not even fucking kidding when I tell you I listened to this album 7 or 8 times. Yeah,
like I'm not kidding. And if I hated it, I would have say anything like I had trouble getting through it. Regina actually, did she hear it? She was sleeping in the car today when I was driving her, so I don't know if she really heard.
Can that be a thing now? Can you please make sure that
Regina listens?
Regina
hears all
the Regina meter.
Listen, as a listener,
we will.
It has been something that I've been worried about. I also kind of. If you could go get her and I can snuggle her right now.
Not right now, man. You've been drinking like 9% beers. No. Yeah. And that's weird. That's my daughter. That's your niece.
You're going to drop her.
I'll snuggle her. And just be like, shh. We're recording.
So
just want to do baby things.
I want to make sure she's quiet.
So here's the
main objective.
So
holding a baby.
So apparently, and I didn't even realize this even after having 3 adult kids, which is kind of crazy that I'm actually still learning about having kids now, is that one of the things I didn't realize, even after having 3 now adult kids and now a newborn, is that there's a little bit of a regression at the 4-month period. I didn't find this out until we went to her.
So for all new parents out there, I had a guy that I worked with who him and his wife were trying to conceive for a number of years and were not successful.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
And then they, with the aid of
Don't talk about taking my.
Is it IVF?
IVF.
IVF. With the aid of IVF, they finally conceived. So congratulations to them.
Yes, congratulations.
That kid I think is like 3 at this point. So chill out.
Real quick, he's so fucking drunk.
Oh yeah, Zack is drunk.
He's fucked.
I've always whenever people talk about like especially when I've talked to people like new parents, no one I don't think anyone tells you how it is really.
Oh fuck no.
With kids. No one tells you really what to expect.
Mm-mm.
And I feel I've made it my personal responsibility to tell people, like, people are like, "Oh, it's so great having a kid." Don't get me wrong. I will say that I hate kids. I would say that I never want to have more kids. My 3 kids are the best thing that ever happened to me in my life.
Absolutely.
But that being said, I'm fully prepared to tell people who are having their first kid all of the bullshit to expect. And I told this guy, the thing that no one tells you about newborns is that it's literally like every time my oldest son was doing something, my ex-wife would go, "Oh, I read there's a regression at this point. There's a sleep regression. There's an eating regression. There's another sleep regression." Kids are just in a constant
grab beers from the fridge.
Zack, kids are just in a constant state of regression.
Yeah.
And it's like no one ever like. It's just it's bullshit.
But that's what I'm saying. So what? So yes, at 4 months there's a little bit of like a sleep regression and whatnot. And Regina's not having a sleep regression. She is actually the second best child I've had regarding sleep.
I think what it boils down to is that today in modern society we're too soft, and everyone's too afraid to just flat out say what the truth and like it's on everybody's mind and what the truth is, and that kids suck.
No. I
Kids,
really don't think they are.
No. Kids are the greatest. Kids are the greatest thing in the world. Trust me. Like I said, my 3 kids are the greatest thing that have ever happened to me. But at the end of the day, kids suck.
Yo, can I just say this is our first reload?
Yeah, it is.
This is our first reload.
So like people always like no one will tell you like at a certain like. Yeah, 4 months they have a sleep regression.
Right,
no,
but
it's that little kids suck at sleeping.
No, I never wanted them. I don't know what you're talking about, but it's basically never wanted them. And I again love my kids. Yeah, like fuck.
But here's
fucking go away.
here's what we have going on.
Stop asking me questions.
Is like
Jesus.
she's great and she is a great sleeper. The problem is
why am I not holding her?
Because you're drunk.
That's the question.
Because
I've held babies drunk.
so
Who among us hasn't?
You don't think I've held babies drunk?
oh, I know, so have I. But so she I love my daughter. I love her, and I can hold her, and she'll fall asleep. And as soon as I put her down, she wakes the fuck up. Katie, she'll fall asleep. Katie will be holding her. She'll fall asleep. Katie will put her down. The fucking kid will sleep for 10 hours.
Well, she doesn't like it.
You know what I mean? But that's the thing. I think she likes me too much, which is great. I fucking love it. But it's like,
you think she just like...
You should try to drive a wedge. Maybe you should like break one of her favorite toys in front of her.
I fucking like the kid too much.
You should probably disparage her to the press.
But okay, so if we want to add,
Do you want to spread rumors or better on Twitter?
Yes.
no, I like her. I like her.
Here's what you do. Get the pay for the blue check on Twitter.
I'm not even on Twitter.
Well, get on
Twitter
Twitter
and then pay for the
Okay.
blue
pay for the
check.
blue check. Talk shit on your daughter.
But start her Twitter too because so she could see it.
Subtweet her.
All right, subtweet.
So it's not like obvious.
This is going to be the
You might
weirdest
also,
podcast
by the
ever.
way, you might also have to start a Twitter for her.
Okay, all right.
And pay for her blue check.
I'll
Just
do
because it's
it.
fair. Just to be fair.
But, okay, so as to your suggestion, going forward from this episode on, we will have a Regina meter. We will get we will get the feeling of how Regina feels about an album because she
cried during Say Anything.
She cried during Say Anything until I turned it off. She did
She liked the Smiths from what I heard.
she did like the Smiths. Here's how we would rate
I did
this.
not know your recording schedule, so I'm listening. So I know I was going to be on today. And so I go and listen to the Smiths album.
It's a good album.
Podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, let's hear about waiting for the end. And then, 'cause here's the thing. I didn't know you were like a couple episodes ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm blowing up your shit.
No, you're
right
fine. No, we've talked about it because our first 2 episodes we're talking like right now when this episode has been published on like May 18th, we're talking in the first 2 episodes like it's the end of May. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no, you're not blowing shit
So
up.
like,
Yes.
so I'm listening to the end of the Smiths episode, and then not only am I waiting to hear you mention the Taking Back Sunday album, it just cuts off with that, like with that.
But did you stay on?
No, I did.
Oh,
I did.
Okay.
So
all right.
no, so then I'm like, oh,
And it wasn't even Taking
and
Back
then,
Sunday.
and then it comes back and it's like, all right, here we go, and it's
Yes.
like, all right, we're doing Billy Joel 50 Seconds.
Exactly. Yeah, we're doing.
I
No,
was
it's not
like-
even 50 seconds. Songs in the Attic.
Oh,
which
Songs in the Attic. Right. I'm
at
sorry.
this point,
'Cause I
is
even had to
2
text-
episodes ago. Yeah, 2 episodes ago.
So then I'm like, why the fuck did I even?
Yeah,
Why
no.
did we even listen to this garbage?
So well, because we just
I
published
don't
this
even
Smiths
know
one.
how Amir is my daughter. I don't even know how Regina felt about it.
Yeah, no, okay, so we will add the Regina meter to the thing, and we'll do this on, like, basically, does she like it because she's crying, and I'll have to see, like,
You should make it like a thing.
a Regina meter, yeah,
Like a thing in that thing.
the
you
Regina meter is
It doesn't have to be elaborate.
totally wicked.
It
Yes.
could literally be like a three.
So
thing.
okay, so I actually have to correct myself since you mentioned That Thing You Do, which is a great fucking movie. Tom Hanks,
friend of the
Summer Movie Club podcast.
it's
Yeah.
a great. I didn't even realize.
By the way, on that episode was a friend of the show, Tim Miller. # listen to the good mess.
Good mess. Okay.
They've been posting a lot of shit because they've been played on
they're gonna be
WMMR a lot.
Oh, cool.
They were WMMR's local shots band of the month.
Okay, cool.
The good mess. I wrote a bunch of songs from.
WMMR should not have fired Jackson, but anyway,
I don't know what that means because I don't listen to the radio.
some people might. So
They should have fired Jackson because they hired the good mess as the one.
but all right. So That Thing You Do, I actually have to correct myself.
Love the good mess.
I hate admitting that I'm wrong, but I have to do this. So in the Say Anything episode, I went on the John Cusack universe. I went on my Lloyd Dobler rant.
Yeah.
And I made a big fucking mistake.
The JCU.
The JCU.
The John Cusack
The John
universe.
Cusack universe. I went off about the Lloyd Dobler thing and Say Anything specifically, which is an amazing fucking movie. I love that movie, except that Lloyd Dobler is a narcissistic stalker
And I
asshole.
wish they had somebody like a Jack Black type in that movie.
Yeah, there should have been. There should have been a black. Instead, they had Jeremy Piven.
Cheese.
So I called Diane Dane.
Yes.
Who is
Diane Dane
was in That Thing You Do.
Oh, also a little.
It is actually Diane Court who is the female.
Diane Dane, the woman that like the
one that Jimmy
pop
fucks.
singer. That,
Yeah.
okay.
I think I also want to point out an inaccuracy that I mentioned. I think when we were talking about when we mentioned Take 'Em Back Sunday, I think on the last episode or an episode before, I feel like I referred to them as being from Staten Island,
I think yes, you did. Yeah.
Long Island.
Okay.
Which I
same
think
difference.
which
Take 'Em
are
Back Sunday?
they the same thing?
It's
What
fucking
I-
New York.
No,
No, they're two
except
different
for
things, but,
Adam
like-
Zara, who is from
Yeah, well, Adam, the lead singer, is not from, but I referred to Take 'Em Back Sunday coming out of the Staten Island music scene, but it was the Long Island.
Yeah, either way,
music
New
scene.
York's
Yeah.
New York. Fuck New York.
Yeah.
It's like New York. I actually think I like Boston more than New York. So
Did you ever hear the local H song? Please no more California songs and fuck New York too.
No, but I actually like that now. Yeah, so I had to clear that up. I did say Diane Dane several times when I was mixing up my movies between That Thing You Do and Say Anything.
Dane.
But it is Diane Court who Ione Sky played.
Do either of you? I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but is the band is the album that everyone is going to be surprised that you like? Is it the Oneaters
Yeah.
debut album?
Yes, it is the Oneaters. That Thing You Do. No, it's not. We can't spoil it.
No,
Did I ever tell you-
I know
so-
it is,
There's
and I knew, and before he told me,
yeah.
What
I
about
know
the
it-
album
he-
where I
he-
thought?
he-
Okay.
yeah.
I knew what it was.
There's
It's a great fucking album.
There's a
I
t-shirt.
don't know the album, but I knew who.
Oh, okay.
I knew who it was.
All right.
There's a t-shirt that I saw that made me laugh so fucking hard. The Ramones logo that we're all familiar with, where
Yep.
it has everyone's name around the eagle and everything. I saw a t-shirt that was the Ramones logo, but it said the Oneaters.
Oh, really?
And it had everybody's
Had their names?
name, but they never give Ethan Embry. They never say Ethan Embry's name.
He's
in
the bass
movie.
player.
TB player.
He's
the
credited as
well,
TB
player. Yes. Well,
So that's how he's listed on the
that's
shirt.
great. That's great. So that is great. If you see that movie at the end where they put like this is what happened to them. Number one, they call him TB player. Number two, Jimmy starts a band called the Herdsmen.
Jimmy and the Herdsman.
Jimmy and the Herdsman, which he says earlier to me.
Yeah.
Like, no, that movie is like, I know it was Tom Hanks' directorial debut, and I mean it's a great movie. I love that movie, but that is not actually what we're.
And can we talk about the like? I think I mentioned on an episode of Summer Movie Club when Zach and I covered Fargo. Our top 5 for that episode was top 5 crime movies, and I said The Italian Job is the best that Charlize Theron has ever looked. It's like Italian Job. That thing.
I was gonna say, you know what?
It's
Okay,
like right
I'll say
there.
this. I've actually never seen the Italian Job, but isn't Christina Applegate in the Italian Job?
No.
That's Charlize Theron.
Charlize
Okay,
Theron.
all right, okay. Yeah, I never
No,
actually
that's
saw the
Ed
entire
Norton. You're thinking Ed Norton.
Oh, Ed Norton. Yeah. No. She looks fucking. And here's the greatest thing about Charlize Theron is like she can look so different.
She's
in
South
so many
African.
different movies.
Is that
Doesn't do it for me.
No,
She's technically
well,
African.
She's all right.
Yeah, but Zack, girls don't do it for you. So
No,
it's-
my number one is Edward Norton.
Zach's asexual.
yes, it's okay. You're like Mars.
All right. So, Paul, we understand me and Zach's stance on this album. Zach and I both love this album. I will say, for a while, this album I would credit as my favorite album.
Okay.
To my date. To this
Currently,
day, my favorite.
I would say it's not my favorite album. My favorite album is somewhere in that.
Oh,
That's okay. That's okay.
Oh.
But like,
My current favorite album is somewhere in that 25.
like I said, I don't hate this album. Like,
Yeah.
I
What
really,
did you?
The Upsides.
I honestly,
What do you think of that new song they did?
We're talking
we're
about
talking about
things.
other stuff, man.
I'm sorry.
So
I don't know what song you're talking about.
No, the
So-
one.
Sister
fuck.
Cities. That's not new.
No. Fuck.
I will tell you this. So
okay.
so we're like how you said it. Like I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. There is a point with bands, and I think I discussed this about the Foo Fighters.
Oh.
There is a point with bands where unless it's a band that I fucking am totally in love with, I do tune out. I tune out and turn off, and I'm like, like whatever. So like there's a point where I don't know what a band's putting out or what they're putting out, because I do get stuck on the older stuff, and and there's certain bands like, okay, so
Me and Zach have often said that in our experience, somebody's favorite version of the band is your first exposure to that
Right,
band.
because here's a question I've been
Okay.
thinking about lately. Because I've been on dating sites and talking to girls and talking about music
okay,
with them, because that's one of the things. Like one thing I've never had really in a long-term relationship is a compatibility music-wise
okay,
with a girl. So like when I'm talking to girls, I ask what kind of music they're into, and
real quick, let me just tell you, it's actually not as important as you think.
No, I
because
don't think
because
it's-
because
no,
in my
no,
past
trust me.
relationships, I had a lot of music.
dude, I married a
compatibility
girl
with-
that I was like completely incompatible with.
Well, that's
music-wise.
I wouldn't say that I'm completely incompatible with Katie.
But she likes the Beatles.
She likes the Beatles. The Beatles are absolutely her favorite album, specifically John Lennon. The Beatles are amazing to her. I don't like the Beatles. There's a lot of stuff, but I will say this: that from being with her, there's bands that I have written off, and artists who I've written off because it's just like it is what it is. That I've come to rediscover and been like, actually, I kind of like this. You know what I mean?
Like I just feel like what I'm looking for at this point, and it's not a deal breaker, but it is like Taking Back Sundays, Tell All Your Friends. If I listened to it today, I don't know that I would, because I'm older now than probably you were when you went to that concert with me.
Yeah. Yep.
So, if it was my first exposure to it now, I probably wouldn't like it.
Well, okay, so yeah, there's something to that, but like this isn't my first exposure to them. But like
I know
my
what you-
first exposure, I didn't fucking like them at all. But coming into it later on, I'm like, oh no, this is cool. I like this, and and we've talked about this before, where it's just kind of like what is your identity to music, but that's kind of thing. The music that's coming out, like someone who's writing a song today, whether it's like Post Malone or it's fucking some person you never heard of,
Who did Frank talk about? Lil Yachty.
Yeah, Lil Yachty. None of that is being written for me,
Right,
you,
no.
or Adam.
And
None of
I-
it is,
and
and
I-
that's
I
okay.
completely
And
understand
that's, but that's how
But,
it's
the
supposed to
The
be.
same thing. I'm never going to, no matter how much I want to, and no how many times I give a try to, I'm never going to connect to Fugazi. The
And
way
that's
you're going to.
But that's okay. Yeah, no, I absolutely
that-
like that. No,
That's
Yeah.
Taking Back Sunday, and Tell All Your Friends to me.
yeah. Well, I mean, you're wrong, but that's okay. No, but no, like seriously, no. I say you're wrong, but that's not wrong. I mean, you know what I mean? Like no, and you're not supposed to. And there are bands that you are connected to for several different reasons. And like I said, I said the album is okay, which means I actually kind of like it. You know what I mean? In the sense that like like I actually probably will listen to this again. You know what I mean? Same as like I started like exploring other things with the Wonder Years, and that's one of the things I love about this podcast is the fact that like, you know, like there's bands that like I never really listened to, and I know there's other bands on your list where I'm like, man, I don't fucking have any interest in listening to this.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll walk out of it being like, all right, cool. No, I kind of like this band now. Like the Wonder Years, I never listened to before we did the thing. So Adam,
I was gonna ask you first because I think yours because I think
on, real quick before, are we about to do favorite songs?
we are.
Can I just want to touch real quick because we almost touched on it a little bit. I feel like a lot of this album's
can I have a Tecate from
history, like there's a lot of like we touched on it very briefly. There's a lot of drama around this band.
Time out. Real quick, I just wanted to point out that this is like the fifth Tecate that Adam is asking for. So I'm starting to think that he is not hating the Mexican people as much as he used to.
And I said at the beginning of this
episode, I think this is beautiful. We are breaking boundaries.
When I checked this in 2018, I gave it a 2.5. I would give it probably a 3.5, 3.75 now.
We are breaking boundaries on the Country Hipster podcast.
You heard it here first, guys. Tecate. Let me put the label out for the sponsors. Tecate is an enjoyable beer.
Tecate. Lay beer. That's French, isn't it?
Lay beer. Cerveza.
La bière. La bière.
But the drama.
I feel like
the drama.
You guys touched on it a little bit last, talking about the Smiths, with what they were doing with their record label and everything.
Rough Trade Records.
And it kind of like if you're angsty and at a certain age you can connect with like this band. When I got into this band, not only did they have all the drama going with the other band, Brand New,
fucking Baja California. It's not even Mexican.
But they also, by the time I got into this band, they were a different lineup because this band has been.
This band's gone through multiple lineups.
Okay, that's so fucking normal, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But like
in fact, actually, to speak to the lineup changes, the album was released with John Nolan on guitar and backup vocals and Sean Cooper on bass. By the time the second single, the coupe. By the time the second single or the second single listed on.
Did you watch the video?
Yeah, have you ever seen the video? The video for that so it's something you might enjoy because Flavor Flav's in it.
Oh, okay. Well,
but by the time that video had come out, they had already replaced.
I think I have a Flavor Flav. Yo, go grab it. Go grab it. Yeah.
But by the time
well, I have a Flavor Flav Funko Pop that is for sale on OttsvilleRecordGarage.com, so you can go check that out.
But by the time they recorded the second single, "You're So Last Summer," which included the
the second single,
"You Could Slit My Throat" line,
it
had Flavor Flav in it, but they had
changed the guitar and backup vocals and bass player.
Okay.
And part like depending on it's hard. Like this band is one of those things where like you never know what's true or not when you hear these stories. So because on the second song, what's the second song? Bike Scene. Yes. The female vocals are done by Michelle Nolan, who is the sister of John Nolan. Who then John Nolan and Sean Cooper left the band, formed the
because the drummer was banging her and he didn't.
No, evidently the lead singer was banging her.
Wait, that's the lead singer was her brother?
No, the backup.
He's
the backup singer. He's the response to the
response.
Okay.
The story goes that like. Lead singer.
You know, here's the thing, man. There's so much bullshit about those stories. Like, you really can't believe.
I don't know if I believe it at all.
Just locally, like I remember there was a band who plays locally who like we play shows with every now and then, and like they had a member who like got kicked out of the band or left the band or however you want to go about it. And I'm talking to somebody who's not close to these bands where I'm close with these bands. And someone's like, well, I heard so-and-so slept with so-and-so's wife. And I just looked, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
No.
Like, that totally did not fucking happen. Like, what? So, like, that's the thing. And that's where, you know what I mean? Like, the whole, like, beef with other bands. Like, you can't fucking get into. Like, that's just so fucking weird.
Like, that's what's crazy about this band's story is like, while the story is that they're feuding with Brand New, they're like touring with Brand New.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, that
But like,
happens a lot, too.
it's confirmed though
So
that
much-
like certain songs
So much so that
Like,
so
No I- No
there's
I
no
Team
I in Team on this album
is
has
a response.
yeah. On the Brand New's first album, there's on Brand New's first album, Your Favorite Weapon. There's a song called 70 times 7, where there's a verse in 70 times 7 that the exact lyrics appear on. There's no I in Team.
What's that? 14,900.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
It's that song is a response to
There-
70
there
times
is-
7,
there's
but
like-
there's videos
like,
of
yeah.
Take It Back Sunday playing There's No I in Team with the lead singer of Brand New, who
The lead
used to be
singer-
the bass player
yeah.
for Take It Back
I was
Sunday.
about to
Wait,
say-
what was that again? 17.
70 times 7.
70 times.
I think it's 1490.
49.
490. I'm way fucking off. I added zeros. I like to add
There
zeros.
was something there, because like Adam said, like the lead singer of Brand New and John Nolan from
No.
Taylor
I'm not saying it's just not something there. You just
But
gotta
like
be
it's just
careful.
kind of like,
what
but like
you-
when
you know.
no, but it's like when you're 14 years old and you're hearing a song
When you're 14 years old and impressionable.
Well, but that's the thing. That kind of goes back to like the fact that you still watch wrestling.
No.
You know what I mean?
an extent.
Which I will say, which is okay. It's
No,
okay to fucking watch wrestling.
I
And
would say it's
and
okay
whoever
to like
watches
whatever
wrestling,
the fuck you like.
exactly. But like when I was a kid, wrestling was not fake. Do you know what I mean? One of the greatest things that I think the WWE ever did was come out with we're fucking athletic or sports entertainment.
Do you know why
It's-
they did that?
Yeah, because I forget what it was. I forget I saw it. What was the reason? Go for it.
There was a I forget which
Excuse
state,
me.
but there was a state's athletic commission.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And they're like, you had to prove it this. They're like, no, we're not going to fucking prove it. You know what I mean? Which and it's okay. It's not my thing, but like that was my thing as a kid.
That was
Where
very drinkable. Man.
it is that's actually the best one. Actually, in my
The
opinion.
Gearhead.
Yes.
Gearhead.
In my so as a kid, and this is what it goes down to, and sometimes I think there is that blurred lines of vision. Like I really thought,
Like Robin thing. Like who sings?
yeah, I thought that Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper were the fucking biggest enemies in the world.
Yeah.
Or when Hulk Hogan had his thing with Brutus Beefcake, I thought they were the biggest enemies in the world. No, they're all fucking friends.
They were
just
the biggest
do-
enemies in the world because they don't agree with Hulk Hogan's use of the N-word.
Yes, but they also did a threesome together.
Yeah.
So there you go. No, but you know what
Friends
I mean?
can
No,
become
like,
enemies, enemies can become
yeah,
friends. you know?
frenemies.
Yeah.
Frenemies, isn't that what they call it?
Exactly.
But no, but that's what I'm
Roddy
saying.
Piper
So,
doesn't like Bubba the Love Sponge.
but that's why you gotta you gotta
That's a
watch
disconnect.
like what like some of these like these things that comes out of bands. But I get it. I get it. Like getting into it and
Yeah.
and like, hey, oh my God, let me look at this shit. Honestly, it's great for the bands. It's
Yeah.
fucking great publicity that people are looking at this shit. So what is the I'll take one of them too.
I want to.
What is the thing that you wanted to say?
I wanted to ask you because I think your top 3 on this album are
very interested in your top
are
three.
far more interesting than to me and Zach than
Not
our
showing
top
you.
3 will be to you.
Okay.
To you. So what are your top 3 songs on this album?
Okay, so I already said it. It's the best song on this album. It's the first song on this album, and it rocks. I mean, like everything from that, because like you start the album and it doesn't immediately kick in.
No.
There's a build up.
I wanted to
you know,
talk about.
and-
I wanted to talk about.
Yes,
that.
and that fucking riff is fucking nice, and it's good, and it's fucking it's
When the drums come off.
I don't want to say it's catchy. I don't want to say it's catchy because it's honestly not catchy.
Yeah.
But it fucking grabs you. It
Yeah.
really does. It really does. And you know
It's-
how I do.
It's like you say, like you're not going to hum that guitar riff
No.
at work,
But it grabs
but
you.
when it
Yes.
starts playing, the swell builds and builds, and
Yes.
finally,
I don't think Paul's going to be able to, just, but what it reminds me of in terms of, an opening track, in this scene,
It's a record,
Under
not a
Oath.
movie.
What's the opening track on Their Only Chance of Safety?
is it a Boy Brush Red?
I don't think it is, but
Keep talking, Paul. I'm gonna look
All right.
something up.
So
quick.
no,
you know how I do.
You know how I do is the best song on this album, and like I said, this is why it's a shower, not a grower. Because Taking Back Sunday takes down their pants, and they have a 5-inch cock, and you're waiting for it to
First
turn
off,
into a
I
10-inch
was
cock.
100% correct. Young and Aspiring. I was wrong.
There you go.
But no, that is, and it really is like that guitar riff, the way the drums come in,
Yeah.
the vocals.
It's the best.
what is
of
it,
any of their songs? That's the best way they could have started the album.
Is this the one that says because I wrote this down because this was another yeah this is another good lyric, and it's in this song, and I fucking got it. Like, and that's how I look at it. It's like how you're saying, like at 14 years old when you heard this album, it grabbed you, it identified with you. The lyric in that song fucking grabs me, it identifies me. So sick of being tired, and oh so tired of being sick. Fucking great lyric. Great lyric. Not as good as the other one about slitting your throat, you know what I mean? But it is a great lyric. The lyrics of the song, I honestly like I talked about that with the Wonder Years, how the lyrics are really good, the songs are really good, the music matches the lyrics. You know, the lyrics of this album from front to back, really good lyrics. But again, it's a shower, not a grower. That is absolutely the best song on the album. The fucking smartest thing that Victory Records could have done was, and I don't know if they had, if the band had to say, but they were like, that's the song that's going to be first, and it should have been, and it worked,
especially with the way that the intro, like
yes, yep, no, that's
absolutely
hands down great song. Number 2, Cute without the E.
There you go.
Nice.
Number 3, and I love this. And okay, so this is how I said, like, it starts here with You Know How I Do, and then it just kind of like comes down a little bit. The only song in the rest of the album that really separates itself from the rest of the album is this one song, in my opinion, and it's called Timberwolves at New Jersey. Yeah. That's my number 3. So those are my top 3.
Timberwolves at New Jersey is This Is Me with the... What's with the my eye through the scope of a gun?
This is me with the through the scope
Words
of
of my tongue and my eye through the scope down the barrel of a gun. Yeah.
That's my top 3, and they're good songs. They're good, like I said. Like it starts out here and it drops down to here, and it just kind of stays there. It doesn't really go anywhere. It doesn't. The rest of the album, like doesn't necessarily do anything for me. It doesn't. It doesn't have peaks and valleys. It is what it is.
And
but again, it's not bad.
And honestly, as this being my favorite album, based on how you felt about the Say Anything album, the fact that I'm again, like you like what you like, you don't like what you like.
Yeah.
But like the fact that I don't have to argue that it's not trying to placate to a audience.
That's nice. That's
balancing.
good. That's good. I actually
my leg's on the table.
That's okay, but I realize I actually have to keep tightening the fucking screws on these things.
So I'm gonna stop doing what I'm doing.
No, it's okay. I just have to keep tightening. But no, and that's the thing. And when I say about it's
at the very least, whether you like this or not, you accept that they're being sincere in what they're doing.
Oh yeah, no, like I said, the lyrics are fucking amazing. The lyrics of this album, every single song, and I went through them because I was trying to find the one about the truth could slit my throat. Because I couldn't but that lyric stood out to me.
Yeah.
I will tell you right off. I know I'm jumping ahead. That's actually my least favorite song on this album.
Really?
Yeah.
You're So Last Summer?
You're So Last Summer. I will say overall, I like the titles of the songs. I think they're fucking funny.
Do you know what they're based on? Because we were actually talking about this.
So there's 2 songs, Great Romance of the 20th Century and Timberwolves in New Jersey, are both from...
I just figured the Timberwolves were playing the Nets in New Jersey.
So it's basically... those 2 songs were things that were seen on the TV Guide channel.
Okay.
The Blue channel is what they refer to as the TV Guide channel.
Okay, all right.
So
no, I like the titles of the songs.
Yeah.
Great Romance of the 20th Century was an A&E series.
Oh, okay.
About historical romances.
But yeah, no. Your So Last Summer it actually has the best lyrics of the album. Throughout all the lyrics are fucking amazing, and it has that lyric in it, that little verse there. but it's my least favorite song on the album.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting that you can speak so highly of the lyrics in it, and it be the bottom of your list.
I mean, that's,
being a person that writes lyrics, I can I can absolutely see these words are great, but this song.
But you have it's the same thing, though, and you have to look at lyrics and music as two different things.
No.
There is great music and shitty lyrics. There is great lyrics and shitty music. Okay. Did I just say the same thing?
No,
most great lyrics are written on songs by The Good Mess. Check them out on Spotify.
Hashtag listen to
Hashtags.
Zach or Paul, continue what you were saying.
Oh, so like, all right, so it's funny because as much as I hate Led Zeppelin, what?
He said, "See what I did there."
So what?
Don't hand me a 9.2 Brad asshole.
So my least favorite, one of my least favorite bands is Led Zeppelin. However, one of my top 5 favorite songs is Rock and Roll. Mm-hmm. The lyrics of Rock and Roll are really,
No, this is
the lyrics of Rock and Roll really aren't that good.
You guys
they're really not.
mythology.
But the music of Rock and Roll.
This is just me.
Fuck yeah.
This is me being 6 beers deep. Rock and Roll. The dum.
No, you're thinking of Black Dog.
Black Dog. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
Rock and Roll. Here's all you need to know about Rock and Roll. It's the fucking hi-hat and the fucking.
Okay. Yeah.
That's all you need to know about Rock and Roll.
And
the rest of that song is like fuck, and it's amazing. But the lyrics of Rock and Roll, the song Rock and Roll, the lyrics aren't great. Now, granted, the lyrics are perfect for that music.
Yeah.
The music is the better part of Rock and Roll, and the fucking and the drums in Rock and Roll, the guitar solo in Rock and Roll, the drums in Rock and Roll, specifically the end.
Like it's that weird. Fucking,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. But that's the thing.
What happens when you're on a podcast with 2 guitar players?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I don't like Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
I really don't. I really fucking hate
Wanna
Led
do my
Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin
But I
impression?
love that song. That is one of my top 5
what's
songs.
your-
Do your Led Zeppelin impression. Go for it. Ow! That's actually not bad. It's really not bad.
That's pretty spot on.
That's actually pretty, which is funny because, and I've said this before,
every Led
that
Zeppelin song.
each individual
It's
member.
every Led Zeppelin song, and also by association, every Greta Van Fleet song.
Yeah, right. Every member of Led Zeppelin, each individual member, I think, are amazing musicians. I just don't like what they did together. That's all.
me.
That's all I'm saying.
I texted Dad about
Don't text them.
like a year ago, and I said, "Hey, I was listening to Led. I don't know what got me listening to Led Zeppelin, but I got into I was listening to a whole thing, and I'm
gonna tell you a funny story about Dad and Led Zeppelin in a second. Continue.
Go on. I actually don't know anything
how
about
old am
that
I?
in Led Zeppelin, so
how
go
old
on.
am I?
I'm 32, so you're 35.
I'm 35.
12 years younger than me. Wait, no, you're 35?
I'm 35 years old.
Oh, because I'll be 47. That's right. Okay, go
I'm
on.
35. I texted Dad. I said, "Hey, Dad," because Dad was born in 1951,
51, yeah.
so he would have been in his 20s and 70s
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
when
And
Led Zeppelin.
now in his 20s and the 70s, he was married with, he had his season 1, the best season was born in the 70s.
Here's what I texted him. I said, "Hey, Dad, I've been listening to Led Zeppelin. I'm curious, what was just like in the time? Because that's all I'm curious about with Dad is like what things were like in the time."
Well, continue, because I have 2 stories to tell about that.
All right, you know what? While you guys are talking about this, I really got to piss. I usually wait for the end, but I really got to do it now. So go for it.
So
Talk
I
about it.
texted Dad. I said, "Hey, Dad, I've been listening to a lot of Led Zeppelin. What was the general consensus about Led Zeppelin at the time? Were they was everybody crazy about them?
Or is it that how
is it just in time people?
yeah.
Have, and I got a 0 response.
You got no response?
No response at all. Literally, I think the last text message on my phone, it's from 8 months ago.
Sounds about right. All right, so I want to.
What shit do we want to talk about, Paul?
He's dyslexic as fuck.
Wait, I can remember the one thing I wanted to say about Dad, but I can't remember the other thing I wanted to say about Dad.
Well, wait.
Let's
take a second while Paul's not here. Let's talk about how great this album is.
Yeah, no,
it's
just
fucking awesome.
Me and Zach love this album. Like I said, this album I would probably list as my favorite. Was my favorite album. Currently, I would not list this as my favorite album.
Guys, it's fucking. Tell all your friends we're taking back some nights.
I will say, I'm gonna save what I was gonna say because it's part of my top 3, so I'll get to it then.
We went and saw the 10th anniversary.
Yeah, so Zach and I we saw we saw the 10th anniversary tour of this album on my birthday. Yeah. A story that I wanted to tell about Dad that I was waiting because it involves vinyl. It involves records.
Okay.
What? Okay.
I wanted to wait till Paul was back to tell this one story about
No,
Dad.
I literally don't remember the story.
Yeah.
I don't remember the joke we did. We did a joke.
Yeah. It's because you're drunk.
It's all good.
So when I first started getting into vinyl records, I was a freshman in high school, and I remember saying to Dad, I was looking for cliche things. I was looking for Doors. I was looking for Zeppelin. I was looking for Beatles. I was looking for that kind of shit. So I said to Dad, I'm like, oh, is that kind of do you have any of that stuff in your collection? He's like, oh yeah, all that's down there. The only thing in it
does
at Abbey Road, and I'm pretty sure that was my mom's.
Yeah.
Nothing. The only I was like, you fucking told me there was Zeppelin. You told me there was Doors.
Yeah.
You told me there was all this shit, and all there was Abbey Road.
Yeah.
Not Abbey Road. I'm sorry, Sgt. Pepper's. You gave me the copy of Abbey Road that I had.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No,
I helped Paul move one time, and he gave Katie a vinyl. He gave Sean a vinyl. He gave Jack a vinyl. And then I'm just kind of sitting there off to the side, and he just pulls out a random copy of Abbey Road and goes, "Oh, I guess you can have this," basically.
I will give, but that's not the first record I gave you. No, there's records I'll get I'm not going to say what record it is because it's in Adam's 25.
I say there's an album on my 25 that Paul just gave me.
Yes, because Adam
is also what I'm considering my favorite album.
I'm tired of listening in suspense, considering now that I'm a guest on the show. After we're recording, I'm going to need to see the
you can go look at it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm actually fucking... Honestly, if anybody really has, wants to zoom in, you can actually see the 50 records that we... Because they're behind us. Zach, move your head.
I'll move out of the way.
Yeah, so there are the 50 records that we're talking about. Here's my pile. To the left of Adam.
That's Paul's pile that we haven't listened to.
Yes.
This is my pile that we haven't listened to.
So you can, if you want to really zoom in, you fucking can.
And this is Zack.
But no, so one of the albums that's on your 25 would, and we talked about this in the pilot, would have been on my 25.
Yours, yeah.
But I remember you randomly messaged me and said, "Hey, I want this album. Can you get this for me on vinyl?" And I was like, you know what? It's actually not available right now. But you know what? Yeah. Take my copy, because I think that's part of records. That is part of collecting records.
And I wouldn't say just records.
And I will say this:
any type of physical medium.
Yes. But here's where it goes to. So with Internet Record Exchange, right, which is my first foray into selling vinyl records, right. I started on Discogs, which I still sell on Discogs. So if you look up Ottsville Rec Garage on Discogs, you will find the page. Prices are the same. There's no different prices on our Discogs page than there is on the OttsvilleRecordGarage.com. But some people feel a little bit more comfortable with Discogs, which is totally fine. I appreciate you Discogs people. I buy from Discogs. I actually just got an album in from Discogs, so I'm very happy about that.
What'd you get?
Go grab it. It is right there, sitting on top of the printer over there.
Spice?
No, it's not. It's not the Spice Girls wannabe. So one of my favorite bands is a band called River City. Yeah,
which is
it's not.
No, I know.
This is their second full-length album, River City Extension. Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Your Anger. I just got this in from a buyer on Discogs. So on Discogs, the cool thing about Discogs, similar to Ottsville Record Garage, where you can go and get notified about. Oh, they're telling secrets. They're telling fucking secrets. They're telling secrets. So what's cool is on Discogs is you can go and put stuff on your want list, and then when someone lists it, you get a notification. Same as Ottsville Record Garage. If there's something that we don't have in stock, but we have listed on our site, you can go and put a notification in, and you get an email that says, hey, we have this in stock. Because if you do that, I will turn around and order the record for you. I will do it. I will not take your money. I will order the record, and we will get it in at OttsvilleRecordGarage.com if it's available. So this is an album here that I have on CD. I've seen this band a bunch. I know. I've seen this band a bunch of times. I fucking love this band. This is a good album. But yeah, so I just got that in from Discogs. But that is actually one of the beauties of vinyl records and collecting vinyl and true vinyl collectors. You have asshole vinyl collectors who only want the highest fucking quality, and I wanted this fucking quick as fast and da. Those are the asshole collectors, man, who just like honestly piss me off, who don't understand like, hey, something might have, like generally, even though vinyl is the only growing medium of music, like of physical music, it's still not the highest selling media of music. Streaming is king. It's the fucking truth. Streaming is king.
Well, that's because we as a society have become lazy and streaming is convenient.
Exactly. I mean, I stream. I stream all the time.
I think we said it in a prior episode. My albums live an hour away from me at Paul's house.
Yes.
So I haven't listened to a single album of mine on vinyl.
Yes. And
for
it's
this
cool.
podcast.
And
I've
it's
only
cool.
listened to them on iTunes.
And the coolest vinyl collectors, I had a guy who there's this dude, he lives down in Florida, because I know I've sold I've sold 20 records to him. Easily sold 20 records to him. And then the one day he just messages me and he's like,
do you want to fuck?
No, he wasn't like, do you want to fuck? But he's like, hey, you seem like a cool guy. Like
that's the first conversation.
I know.
It turns
He's
into,
like,
do you want to fuck?
He's like, and you got some cool records. Like, I want to send you some stuff to listen to. And I was like, fuck yeah. So I gave him a label. I was like, dude, here you go. With your next order, I'll send you a label. Fucking send me some. And he sent me up some like fucking Japanese pressings of some jazz shit that I've never listened to. I'm not into. What's that?
It was like sex stuff.
It wasn't. But like, it was like some Japanese pressings of some jazz recordings. I kind of don't remember what they were at this point, to be honest with you. But like, he sent me like 3 records, and I fucking listened to them, and they were good.
Yeah.
And that is the coolest thing about vinyl. So
did I tell you the story? So I used to have an English bulldog, and if you guys don't have an English bulldog and aren't on Instagram, the English bulldog community on Instagram is a vast one.
Rocky was my favorite nephew ever.
R.I.P. Rocky.
R.I.P. Rocky.
Rocky.
Do you have a beer?
No, it's
Fucking
I
open
just
up beer.
finished mine.
God damn it.
Jesus.
So
Hold on.
there's a guy who I became friendly with on Instagram
Still worked in there.
who lives in
You keep
Florida,
saying that.
and he also had
Just call it.
he had English bulldogs, and we became friends. He posted a picture of a beer on his Instagram, and I said, "Oh, I've been looking for that."
Rocky!
Yeah. So this beer that I was looking for, it's a bright yellow can and in big bold black lettering. It just says "emergency drinking beer" or something like that, emergency beer or something like that. So he posted a picture of it and I said, "Oh, I've been looking for that, but I haven't been able to find it anywhere near me." Which started a conversation. Which he lives in Florida. He sent me a bunch of local Florida beers. I sent him a bunch of local Philly beers.
Okay, I want you to continue your story, but I want to mention that my computer is at 15%.
Also,
So we're gonna run out soon. So we
That was the end of my story.
Okay, cool.
Two
That's
of us
awesome.
haven't done our top 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do your top 3.
Do your top 3. What are your top 3? Be quick about it.
Okay,
Because we're running out of
Are we
bandwidth.
doing the vinyl version?
I don't really
Yeah,
care.
no, absolutely. We're doing
Because we got another segment we got to get to.
we're doing the final.
We got 2 segments we got to get to. We have 15%.
My favorite song of all time is Q Without D.
Okay.
When you see them live and they drop out in the second.
I have a video. The most recent concert I've seen is me and Zack saw Take It Back Sunday for their annual holiday show at the Starland Ballroom. It was 2 years ago. At the end of the song, you hear the "Why Can't I Feel Anything?"
They do that
Funnier Than
twice.
You?
The second one,
they
live,
drop out
they
and let the
drop
crowd
out
sing.
completely. and let the sun. And I
Nice.
will never get not get goosebumps.
And that's amazing. That's great. Yeah.
And number 2, Bike Scene. I love the Michelle Nolan.
That's a good song. No, the second song on the album is great.
Michelle is evidently the reason they broke up.
Yeah, no,
I don't know. I forget if we even got into that.
We did. We touched on it.
Okay. We did.
And then if we're doing the vinyl release, my number 3 is The Ballad of Salvo.
I will say this because I actually didn't listen to your record, which I do try to do. I just didn't get an opportunity to do it, to be honest with you. We're recording on a Sunday afternoon, which is a little different for us. We usually do midnight Sunday nights
early evening.
or Monday nights. I'm
Monday
sorry, we
nights.
do Monday nights.
I forget which one it was, but you said there were. I think it was the Wonder Years. You said there were pops on one of my records.
Well, yeah. No, I like listening. I mean, either way, for the value we rate on my Very Good Plus. But yeah, no, there's skips on your Wonder Years album.
Yeah.
But I did not actually get a chance to listen to the actual vinyl, which I like to do. So I actually didn't get to listen to that song
You didn't
because
get to
it's
listen to this off yellow white marble.
which is a cool pressing. by
Let
the
me
way.
ask Adam a question then.
Go ahead. Ask me
Aside,
on the corner.
Adam,
Yes.
what's that?
I had the most cans in front of me instead of everybody else, and I was drinking a 19% beer. But
No,
yeah,
wait. I have more cans in front of him.
Yeah, but you're drinking like beers that are like 4.5%.
Yeah,
His
true.
are like
No, I'm shit.
Granted, this is my fault because I
if-
handed him a
if
9%
you-
beer off the start.
If you had to pick a song
the big
off
thumb
of the track list
off of the track list.
to take off and put on The Ballad of Salvo,
Oh, well, that's gonna play into it. Hold on for that. So you said Q without the E, and then you said
Bike Scene.
Bike Scene and
It's a
Ballad
good
of
song.
Salvo.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've always said I think I would credit Ballad of Salvo Nueva as my favorite Take Back Sunday song.
Okay.
So I would put Ballad of Salvo Nueva, excuse me, as my number 1. I'd probably go Q without the E, Cut from the Team as my number 2. And then I'd probably go Great Romance of the 20th Century as my number 3. And I wanted to specifically mention...
With the...
No, I'll get there.
Go
I wanted to
ahead.
specifically mention Great Romance of the 20th Century because in Great Romance of the 20th Century...
Is it baby?
No, that's not the baby. Oh, the baby.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Zach...
Don't touch the baby.
Paul gets up for the Chargers. Zach gets up for the baby. When the first I had a burnt
Sit down.
I had a burnt copy of this album, and the version of Great Romance of the 20th Century that was on it was the demo version. And if you listen to the demo version of Great Romance of the 20th Century, the song starts. There's musically it's the exact same song, but above on top of the guitar track that's playing is a
Guys, did you see the baby?
is a
They
is
did
a,
not. They
There's
did
a
not see the
baby in here.
It's there's a
There's a baby in a bar.
in a bar. At the beginning on the demo version of Great Romance of the 20th Century, there's the monologue that Michael Rappaport says in the movie Beautiful Girls.
Oh, I fucking love that movie. By the way, have you guys done that?
No.
All right, so 2 movies that you have to add me on. What was the one I mentioned earlier?
Orderlies.
Orderlies
and Beautiful Girls.
And Beautiful Girls. Dude,
So-
fucking Beautiful Girls is an amazing fucking movie.
The demo version of Great Romances, when the guitar starts playing, Michael Rappaport comes in with a beautiful girl can make
Ah,
you
that's
dizzy
great.
like you've been drinking
Yes.
Jack and Coke
Yep,
all morning.
yep.
It's at the point where whenever the non-demo version of that song comes on, I start the monologue out loud
in your head, yeah.
and it's at the point where I have it timed perfectly.
Another great movie, great monologue from that movie. That movie's actually great, full of great monologues. The other great monologue, fucking Rosie O'Donnell's.
I don't think I know. I've never seen the movie.
Oh my, are you fucking
My
serious?
only exposure to that movie is a beautiful girl can make you dizzy. Like
Oh
you've
my
been
god!
drinking Coke all
So
morning.
listen. So we do have at least one crossover episode that's going to be between the Country Hipster Podcast and the Summer Movie Club because one of the albums on my 25 is a soundtrack. We're gonna have some other crossovers, I think.
No.
So no, definitely. You guys have to set up Orderlies and you have to set up Beautiful Girls. Fucking, I haven't seen Beautiful Girls. I want to go fucking watch Beautiful Girls now.
So Zach just asked me what song. So Ballad of Salvo Villanueva is a bonus track for the vinyl. And Zach just asked me what song I would replace
That was on your list?
to
No.
put Ballad of Sal Nueva on the
I actually
album.
never heard it
Which I'm
because I only listened. I didn't actually get a chance to listen to the.
I'm
to the
going
record.
I'm going to count what Zach asked this question. I'm going to count this as what is my least favorite song on the album because it's something that we always ask. Paul, you said you were so last summer.
It is, yes, but again, best lyrics on the album.
Best lyrics on the
that's
album,
right.
yeah.
Like I really was conflicted a bit because it is musically and overall the way it's put together. It is my least favorite song on the album. It has like, all right, so.
The
I
video
fucking
has
like
Flavor.
Well, yeah, but Flavor Flav's cool. We got that's fine. But
does that make
Hey,
it
Flavor
cool?
Flav Funko Pop available for $11.99 at Oxford Record Garage.
that's right. But OutdoorRecordGarage.com. But yeah. So
It's the internet, Paul. They know it's .com.
I know.
HTTP.
S. We're an S. We got an S because we're safe. Backslash. No, but no. Yeah, it really is. I really was conflicted about that because like I said, it's the first song is the best song. Everything is very standard. So there's not really a bad. There's not a bad song on the album. It's just that's musically that's my least favorite
what
song.
did we say?
Lyrically, that's a great song.
I'm so happy to hear you talk about the album. Like
It's not even like affectionately, but as affectionately as you are.
It's
So Zach, before
because the way you talk about the album in that way, compared to how you talked about Sandy Things,
Yeah, but see it. That was just a bad album. It really was. It was a bad album.
Like that's the thing. My favorite album of all time. You've as all like my entire life, you've always been like. So you're season 1.
I am season 1. I'm
But
the youngest of season 1.
You're
I'm
the
number 3
last
of season
episode
1.
of season 1.
I am the last episode of season 1.
I'm the first episode of season 2.
Might have been the best episode of season 1, but whatever.
So, like, there's been plenty of times over the course of the couple episodes. That I've heard
wait, real quick. So House, the show House, is the only TV show with the exception of Stranger Things, which I don't consider a TV show.
Because it's on Netflix.
Because it's on Netflix, and like really every episode's a movie, right?
Yeah.
But so the only show that I've ever seen with the exception of Alf.
I have an Alf comic over there. Did you
I
see
know
it?
it's on the floor right
Yeah,
now.
I
It
know.
keeps falling out of your fucking shelf.
Cats?
He's yeah.
It's
It's
a-
But
Cats in
so
it?
so the only television show
Does it
where I've
mean cats?
actually seen every single episode from beginning to end is House, and one of the episodes in House of season 1 is honestly it is.
What's the thing they always think it's in cats?
Lupus.
Lupus.
So yes, it's never Lupus, except for the one time it was Lupus.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's the thing. But here's the first.
Lupus was just a red
So you've
herring.
seen every house.
yeah. Well, let me
No,
finish.
no.
Let me finish.
I'm going to ask a question about
Okay,
Lucas.
go ahead.
So you've seen every house.
I've seen it. Yes.
Did they wait long enough into the show where every
Where it was
episode-
actually Lupus. Oh, it was a perfect time. Yeah, it was a perfect time.
Okay.
So I've only ever seen House,
That's
but
all
the
I get.
very best episode of House happens in season 1, and it's called 4 Stories or 3 Stories. 4 Stories.
It's with Lupus.
It's 4 stories. Yes, it's 4 stories. 3 stories. Whatever. Either
a
way.
number of stories.
But at any rate, so like that, in season 1 happens the best season of the whole saga of House.
Yeah.
I am the best season, the best episode of both seasons. So,
So
but what were you saying?
so Zach, we have Paul's least favorite. You have to pick a least favorite on the
Oh
album.
no, my least favorite is Head Club.
It's
Is what?
Head
Head
Club.
Club.
The song that
If
closes the album.
like, because my
yeah.
main thought was talking to you about if we had to take because the Ballad of Sal Villanueva.
The bad of the
Sal Villanueva.
Jesus.
By the way,
was
this
the
is
B-side.
amazing for us. I honestly don't know if you people at home who are listening and watching are enjoying this as much as we are, but we fucking are.
So
But by the way, at the same time, if you like this, I subscribe to this summer movie collection.
because it gets worse. But your least favorite would be Head Club?
Head Club. I was going to ask you if you were going to replace any song on the track list.
I would replace
With-
Head Club with Ballad of Sal Villanueva.
Okay. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to listen to your vinyl, so
But at the same time, I don't think that the Ballad of Sal Villanueva fits with.
No, I don't think it does either, but I think it's a better song than Head Club.
It
so
is
I
a
would
better
prefer it-
song. Like
I would prefer it to be on the album.
If someone
opposed
says to
yeah.
me, like, put this song on or this song on,
Like I said, Ballad of Sal Villanueva, is my number one. I've said for a long time that Ballad of Sal Villanueva is my favorite Take Back Sunday song. So I'm right there with you. It's a better song. Does it fit with the album? Not entirely, but I think it's a better song than Head Club. So
I'm gonna look in the camera right now and say,
look dead straight down. I just also want to point out when you just said that, there's a lot of times where I've noticed that in the recording, I will just look directly at the thing.
I think that's good though. You
No.
got a feel for it.
No,
was
because what it
really
is I'm trying to, because we're recording on Paul's iPad, so I can see how long we've been recording
it's
at the top of the
fucking
screen.
camera shit to bed.
I'm just
see.
trying to figure out how long we've been talking for. Whenever I
hours
make
and 12
eye
minutes.
contact, it's just me trying to figure out how long we've been
Can I show the
recording.
back of my shirt real quick? Right here. Right, I want to show the back of my shirt. Right, because I honestly, when I bought this shirt,
Oh, you're like a little kid. Like, can I just show the back of my shirt real quick? Wait. Turn back.
go ahead, read it.
It says "fuck grammar nerds" at the bottom of it.
Yes, but what?
Oh, so it says vinyls, but the S is crossed out.
Yes. So the plural vinyl is vinyl.
One vinyl.
It's like,
Okay.
So I have one deer,
So
but I have 7 deer over in
Yes,
that
yes.
field.
So I got this shirt. Honestly, I thought the back was the front, but that's okay. So I bought this shirt. I was at the I think I talked about it on the last episode. I was at the This Is Not Croydon Fest, which is a bunch of ska bands, and they have a little marketplace there. And so I went and I was Katie and I were walking around the marketplace.
I saw the front of the shirt on the it says Say 10.
Say 10. Say 10 Records is out of Richmond, Virginia.
Is it the same?
And it is
Okay,
the Say 10 that the stickers
I
there.
just saw the sticker over
I
there.
met the guy who runs Say 10 Records that day. So
Which
go
is a Say 10.
Say
is a
10, yeah,
solid fucking
exactly,
name.
exactly, which is why it's got the devil
Yeah.
horns and whatnot. So go check out Say 10 Records from Richmond, Virginia. They got a bunch of cool stuff.
You got a lot of ties to Virginia.
I do have a lot of time. I actually almost moved to Virginia.
You told me that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
yeah,
You almost
so-
moved down there.
All right, so you did talk about your top 3, right?
He said top 3.
Okay,
He said
cool.
this was his favorite. I said my top 3. I said my least favorite.
All right, so let's get on to the next section of this podcast. If you were still listening, this has been like a mishmash of
2 hours and 11. 2
My-
hours and 10 minutes.
My name's Zack, and I'm talking like this.
No, this is only. Oh, tough.
Well, we did start the audio, and Jack paused the recording there to get the camera set up, and the camera's not
So
even fucking
like,
working. Fuck
we're
you,
like
camera.
like 56 minutes.
That camera died. R.I.P.
The camera died. Oh, the camera! The camera!
Oh,
camera! No, we got to figure that shit out.
So Paul,
All right.
Paul, what's our next segment?
So here we go. It's a very important segment. Now that we have another segment that we're adding, which we will in the next episode, whatever it ends up being, we will include the Regina factor to the
real quick, before you
recording.
continue on to the next,
Yes.
the next segment. Not only is Katie the
Ultimate producer.
ultimate producer,
She's the producer of my life
she
and
came in
my beautiful
super
child.
clutch with Paul's charger, so we can continue recording past the 15%.
Yes, I was at 15%. I'm back up to 18%. I sent her a
we go.
little text message saying, "Hey, I love you. Would you please bring my computer charger down?"
Yeah.
Better than being like the 1%, right? Those fucking fat cats.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry, go to
It
sleep.
was a joke about.
No, I get you.
Yeah, no, I don't get it.
But so this is the most important This is the most important segment to me.
Listen, can I just say Zach's had a tough time lately, and we love him for it.
Yes.
But it's all good. That's why we're happy he's here.
No, it was a joke about
If there's more Tecate in the
I don't think there is. I think Zach, why don't you go get more Tecate?
Go get more Tecate so we can talk shit.
You just want me to leave?
No, we want you to go get more Tecate.
I'll go get more Tecate.
You go get more Tecate.
You
Okay.
introduce the next segment.
Okay. So the next segment
Let's
is,
do it,
and
man.
you will be
Let's
going.
do it.
Yes, go be Adam. Go be
In
Adam.
all fairness, Zach has left. You've left.
That's true. There you go. There you go.
Hey
Yes.
guys,
right.
don't have kids.
All right, so here we are on to the next segment of the podcast, which hopefully you're still listening to this point. Honestly, here's the thing. Okay, so
Hey, Paul, our beard's cool.
yes, they are. You have a beard. You're getting kind of gray there.
Yeah, I'm getting really.
You are getting gray.
No, but I'm Adam right now.
Yes, you are. So,
only one Tecate left.
oh, I'm drinking that.
No, it's mine.
Oh, fuck you. All right.
Hey guys.
fair
hey,
enough.
Hey guys. Flannels, right?
So here's the thing. Okay, listen, we may have lost you as an audience at this point, and that's okay
I
because
think I did a great job.
here's what it comes. You did an excellent job being
No, I
Adam.
think I like.
You did,
That's,
you
that's
did.
what everyone was waiting for.
So
Looking for.
here's the thing with this country
did.
hipster podcast is whether or not you like it. I
Did
honestly,
good.
I want you to like it. Don't get me wrong. I want you to like it, but I honestly really don't give a fuck
Yeah.
because I am having fun talking with on
Just-
most weeks just my one brother, but on this week 2 of my brothers.
This was so fun.
It was fun. I am having a lot of fun talking about records and talking about vinyl and promoting my website.
No.
No, wait,
no,
wait.
don't. No,
oh,
no,
yeah,
no,
no.
that's
Here you
yours,
go.
Paul. You take that.
Take this.
Yes, take that one.
No.
Yes. So he is sober enough to realize I shouldn't drink this one.
Yes.
So no, I am having a lot of fun here, and so hopefully you're still with us. Hopefully you are laughing like we are. You're probably not because you can't understand most of what Zach's saying because it's like Zach, I'm fucking drunk.
Zach is the mush mouth of this.
He's a
podcast.
bushmouth. He's bushmouth. But at any rate,
I need a cigarette.
yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. We're
We'll
almost
get-
at
real-
the point,
real
man.
quick.
We're over 2 hours. We're actually our longest episode now, which
Yeah.
I'm not surprised because the summer movie club.
Fuck
that
you,
was on-
Frank.
Yes, fuck you, Frank Daly from Jameson Celtic Rock with an I. Jameson with an I. Go check out Jameson
Jameson
Celtic Rock.
CR on most of the social medias.
There you go. Yes, another fucking free plug. We keep giving free plugs, man. Oh. That might have been the funniest moment right there. I hope you were watching on video because if you were not, and this is for our niece Haley. So what happened where was our Uncle Zach? We're going to give a descriptive thing here. Our Uncle Zach picked up the mic like he was going to say something, and then immediately put it down because he realized he's drunk and has nothing to say.
I have nothing.
All right, so back to where we are.
Yeah.
In the next episode, we will definitely include the Regina meter going forward.
That definitely.
Yes, like I said, she slept through it today. So, like I was saying earlier, which I actually never finished that story. This is the one thing my wife has complimented me on, whereas I will start a story and we'll go on a tangent, and she has said, like, you're really good at going back and finishing the story. So here I am, finishing the fucking story. So what my 4-month-old daughter is now doing, by the time you read this, she'll be 5 months old.
Arithmetic.
What's that? Arithmetic? Say that again. Good.
Arithmetic.
There you go. All right, good. So what she's doing now as a 4-month-old is regressing, whereas like she will not. If I put her down for a nap, she'll fall asleep on me, which honestly I fucking love. All 3 of my kids used to fall asleep on me.
Love that. That's amazing.
And I fucking love that. I love that. Like a little baby, she falls asleep on my shoulder. It's great. But if I put her down, she wakes up. Like seriously, within 5 minutes, she wakes up and she's fucking up.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Is she a swaddler?
No, she's really not. She's really
Okay,
not.
Interesting. Continue.
If Katie puts her down, the child will sleep. You know what I mean? So that's where we're at right now, and we're going to have a very interesting point come up in about a week, because Katie is a very successful professional. I don't want to say who she works for because I don't know if I'm allowed to mention them or anything, but she is so successful that I get to stay at home with my daughter and run an online record store. But like she actually has to go on a work trip in about a week.
Oh,
So
we were talking
she's-
about this
yes.
because we might have.
Yeah,
we're
well,
gonna have
depends on how your schedule changes.
We're gonna have the schedule will be fine.
The schedule will be
Yeah.
fine. So
we're gonna
are
have the most special of guests.
yes, because Regina will be on the
Yeah.
podcast because Katie.
so we can get her top 3.
we will get her top 3. So Katie will actually be traveling. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that goes because like I said, one of the things is with her at 4 months, where the doctors told me they might have some sleep regression, which thankfully she's not having at night. She is not having the sleep regression at night.
The regression is that kids are in a
Kids are
constant-
kids. Kids are kids.
Kids
Yeah,
suck.
they're constantly
Continue.
changing. But she will not, if I keep her on me, if I hold her, if I either cradle her or I put her up on my shoulder, she will sleep for fucking hours. But if I put her down, she'll wake up. So it'll be interesting in about a week to find out whether or not I can actually put my daughter to sleep, which I've been able to do for the previous 3 months. For the last month, it hasn't been a thing, but that's okay because honestly, like, I fucking love her, man. I like holding her. It's the thing. But at any rate, I digress. I'm digressing. So here we go. Zach is falling asleep, and we are going.
Oh Jesus Christ!
We are going to get on to
I say we're here for the most important part,
the Discogs value.
the monetary value.
Oh, I need a cigarette.
We'll get there. We'll get there. You said that.
I don't know if I can't remember if it was in the Smiths album, the Smiths episode, or if it was in the Billy Joel episode, which at the moment of recording hasn't been released, but will be released by the time of this.
Yeah.
You said one of my albums was worth an obscene amount of money.
Yeah, this is not one of them.
Okay.
Yes.
So every time Paul tells me about like the value of one of my records, I get excited. I'm like, "Is this the one?" Continue.
Yes.
What are we at?
So here we go. So there are actually a lot of repressings of this album. That is one thing I found out when I looked this up.
Wait, let's do a game.
We're already playing a game.
We've been playing a game
Well,
for,
let's
for 8
involve
weeks
me.
now.
Let's guess. Let me guess.
What are you guessing?
How much it's worth?
Go ahead.
All right, let's go. Give or take.
Let us get there first.
Give or take $10. What give or take?
Oh,
No,
I got a
5.
range?
It's got to be within 5. It's got to be within 5.
$5. All right.
Above or
over or under
above or
$5,
below.
take
What do
a
you
guess
think this
right
is
now.
worth?
35.
35. Okay. What are you putting it at?
Because you said there's a lot of repressings of it, but keep in mind this is a colored vinyl pressing of it. So I'm
Wait.
assuming
Do we
it's
take into account his pressing?
No. So well, it does. It does.
Yeah.
The pressing matters.
so it's
but,
a
Because
color.
I saw it. It was yellow, right?
It's a colored vinyl.
uh-huh.
There are a lot of repressings of it. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go a little bit above Zach. I'm gonna go 40.
Okay, you're going 40. Zach, are you staying at 35?
Yes.
Okay, Zach is staying at 35. Adam is at $40. I already know the value because I looked these things up before the episode. So I'm not gonna. I'm a professional, so I'm not gonna give an opinion. All right. So here's the deal.
Paul's
I'm not
just
gonna.
the
let-
only
I'm
one who
actually
knows how to
fucking
use
honest.
Discogs. That's
Pretty much what it comes down to. So this, there are a lot of different pressings of this album. There are a lot of different colors. I will tell you that it seems as if the light blue or aqua blue colors, because there's a couple green pressings, a smoke gray pressing. Yours is the yellow pressing. The bluish pressings are worth more money. Okay. But that being said, that doesn't mean your album's worth dog shit. Okay. You have a 2007 repressing on yellow vinyl.
And the album came out in 2002.
Okay,
So,
sure.
okay, 5 years. I was just curious how long after.
So, and this is one of the cool things we've talked about this. I personally, as a vinyl collector, I love colored vinyl. I like the fact that there are these different pressings and there are these limited edition
I
pressings.
can't wait because we both have talked about how we love color vinyl.
Yes.
I can't wait till we get to one specific.
Yeah.
album
Oh, yeah.
on
No,
my
and that's
list.
probably the one that's worth like an obscene amount of money.
I can't imagine,
So
but we'll get there.
This is the third pressing of this album, and it was limited to 440 units on yellow vinyl.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, you said my Wonder Years copy was a very limited.
It is
pressing.
also a limited pressing as well. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm
That's
saying.
why you said mine will.
Overall, your records will be. He's had a tough time lately. He needs to sleep.
You said my vinyl lyrics.
So
A lot of mine are limited pressings.
overall, a lot of your records are limited pressings, very, which is why I told you, and I looked at it, and that's why I said, like, overall, I think your records are going to be worth more than mine because of what they are and how they are, and I think that's awesome. I think that's great. You did not collect them to be like that. Mm-hmm. You saw a title and you're like, I fucking like that record, and that's why you bought it. There are people who go out there and will buy records specifically for a specific pressing. Like, there is a guy on TikTok who I actually stopped following because he was annoying me, who would buy every single fucking color variant of it. I know. Who would buy every single color variant of the album, and that would annoy me. It honestly would, because it's like, dude, just fucking buy the album. You don't need 6 copies of the new Lana Del Rey album, which we
is available on.
Well, we have the black vinyl available right now. By the time this goes, I will probably have another copy of the indie exclusive green vinyl come in, but I've actually got indie exclusive. So indie exclusive means that, and here's the thing, I will salute my one distributor. Technically, I'm not supposed to get indie exclusive albums
because you're not in.
Because India. I'm not in India, and I am not an actual brick and mortar store. However, one of my distributors and my sales reps specifically recognizes that even though I'm not in a brick and mortar store, I am a small business who is a one-off, who is trying to sell records and loves vinyl and is trying to sell them. So they will actually sell me. I have 2 main distributors. One of them won't even fucking touch me for indie exclusive stuff because I'm not a brick and mortar store. The other one will say, you are still an independent. You are still an independent small business trying to build your business and build what we do. So I salute them for recognizing that. So I can get indie exclusive pressings, most indie exclusive pressings. I cannot, and I agree with, I cannot get record store day pressings. Yes, please. And you got to send that to me because it's going on Instagram.
Wait, can I get it? Wait, can I get a thumbs up? Thank you.
So I can't get record store day. I fully agree with not being able to get the record store day stuff, because record store day is for brick and mortar stores. Without the brick and mortar record stores, I would not be an online record store. So I agree with that. But I can get some indie exclusive stuff. So if you're looking for indie exclusive pressings, look at all your regular places first, then go look at at Ottsville Record Garage, because I might have it in stock and no one's bought it yet because not many people know about us. But at any rate, so here we go. So back to it. This is a 2007 repressing on yellow vinyl, 3rd pressing of 440 units. And it has the additional track that we talked about, which is apparently Sleepy Boy's favorite song.
No, my favorite. I think.
Oh, your favorite. Okay, his second favorite. And your very good plus value of this record, if we were playing Price is Right rules, you would win at $40 because your value on this record is $52.76 as the suggested retail.
I'm at one.
I'll get there.
170.
So we round up. No, you're too high. So we round up the $53. Your running total is $169.
I thought it was at 116.
Yeah, it's 169. You're 169.
No, I thought with last week's episode, I thought it was at 116.
No.
Oh, no. I don't remember.
You're at $169. I am based on 4 albums, I am at $151 based on 3 albums. So you have taken the lead, and you have 69 in there. So would you really want to change it?
I wouldn't.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. So get the box of Michael. Hey. All right, I'm gonna pick.
I can't laugh because I have to piss.
Is he alive? Zack.
Yeah, he's good.
All right, so I'm gonna pick the next episode. All right, I'm gonna go deep. Is he really alive? Is he all right?
Yeah, he's breathing.
All right. So real quick, so we're gonna drink to Zack. Number 20.
Number 20?
Number 20.
This is my favorite episode. I can't laugh because I have to piss.
I know. Hold on. Let me see if I can do something here. No, I can't do it. All right.
Paul just tried to zoom in for you
I
at
just
home.
try to zoom in so you guys can see.
Let him go.
We're gonna let him go. Right.
He had a long day.
All right, so this is a pink card, and here's what I will say. All right, so as much as if in the pilot episode you saw me mix up the envelopes before we numbered them, what I didn't do was mix up the cards, right? So they didn't have white business cards or white index cards at the store when I bought them. They just had multicolored, which is a mistake, which we will correct in episode 2. I didn't mix up season 2. We did not mix up the color of the index cards. So generally, if they're pink, they're probably me. If they're now the cool thing is, so it's not necessarily me because you have pink, yellow, and blue. So here we go. So this is probably me, and it is.
I was really hoping I get a three.
Yeah,
streak.
no, you do not get the 3
streak.
And this is cool. This is cool, especially since I recently went to This Is Not Croydon Fest. The specials.
Fucking
is
A.
the next album.
I was excited for this one.
Good. I'm glad you were excited about this one. I gotta find it.
Because the specials is one of those bands where I was always like, I should listen to them more, and I haven't, and it's kind of upset me a little bit. There you go.
There it is. Boom. Oh, nope, not that one.
So you want to give me?
Yes, I will give you yours to put over onto your side of Listen To Records. Here we go. The specials. This is our next episode of the Country Hipster Podcast. I will tell you real quickly, I bought this copy used. This is my personal copy that I bought used from the Princeton Record Exchange for $5.99. I love this album. This album, this band was not my.
That's what I thought. Side one, track one.
Yep.
I'm happy about that.
Oh yeah. This album was not my initial introduction to ska, but it definitely is one of my favorite ska bands. Just of that genre, ska, reggae, old punk. It's great, and I do love it, and I am looking forward to talking about it next week. Let's get that in there. So turn that to the side. We're gonna take a selfie here. So, at this point, our brother Zack is not dead. We swear to God, he's not dead. He is breathing.
In all fairness, I will say, as someone who works the night shift, Zack also works the overnight, so this is normal.
Yes.
All right. Can we wrap this up so I can go to the bathroom?
We can. Thank you very much for tuning in to the Country Hipster Podcast. This is so beautiful.
It is.
Much like Zack. It is time. I swear. I'll just say this. I'm sorry. I know you got to piss because I got to piss too. If you're not watching the video of this,
if you're not watching the video, watch the fucking video.
Check in around to the 2-hour period on the YouTube channel, and start watching this, and just watch it from there so you can see what we're laughing at. If you're just listening to this, we appreciate you, but seriously, Spotify and YouTube do show the videos that we will be posting. So before you go and watch it, listen to it, and then